This is Faurot Field, Columbia, Missouri, and tonight it's the home finale for the Missouri Tigers, who are looking to end a 4-game skid as they welcome the red-hot Volunteers from the University of Tennessee. And this is SEC Saturday night, and it's senior night for Mizzou, including offensive lineman Yasir Durant, one of 18 seniors honored tonight. Their do-everything kicker Tucker McCann will handle everything in the kicking duties, and he's looking to get back on track. Kelly Bryant was supposed to be the guy to take him over the hump. Injuries have slowed his season, and they have totally derailed the season of their defensive leader, Cale Garrett, who was lost earlier this year, and will say an emotional goodbye to his senior classmates tonight. And with that, we welcome to the broadcast booth. Welcome, everybody. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers. We've got Cole Kublik down on the field. It's amazing where these two teams are right now, a week before Thanksgiving. And if you would have bet money that Missouri would have fallen by the wayside and Tennessee would be the hottest team in the league, you would have had a lot of takers on that one.
I mean, a little over a month ago, Missouri's on top of the world. The offense is clicking on all cylinders, 5-1, and here we sit after a 4-game skid, trying to stop it from spiraling out of control. And then Tennessee on a hot streak, playing multiple quarterbacks every single game. These programs are headed in opposite directions, but each could get a silver lining and a little bonus with a win tonight to get bowl eligible.
And they should be both in good position for great bowls. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's senior day for Barry Odom's program, a man who's as invested in his SEC program as anybody in the country. Just 3 years of his adult life have been spent away from this program, and 2 of those were 5 miles south of here at Rockbridge High School. He's done everything from schedule the buses to call the defensive plays to hire the coaches on this staff, and nobody wants to end this skid more than Barry Odom does. He was part of a new tradition as a player here at Missouri when it came to senior day. It's a tradition now that has taken hold, and for more on that, we go down to the field and Cole Kublik.
Well, Tom, when you're a senior here at Missouri, you gain a new rock. The Rock M is a tradition here in and of itself, but every senior will come pick out one of these rocks and they'll keep it for the rest of their life. We were talking to Barry Odom in his office in the opposite end zone yesterday. His rock sits on a shelf behind his desk. The rock of this defense, Cale Garrett, goes out after the 5th game of the season. What does Missouri have to do? Replace it with a new rock. Nick Bolton leads the SEC at tackles and has stepped up in a tremendous way for this Missouri defense. He and that squad will have their hands full with this Tennessee offense tonight.
Bolton leads the conference in tackles. He's been a playmaker since he took over that spot. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's a Tennessee program that has turned to their 6th man in football. Jarrett Guarantano, the quarterback who couldn't do anything right early in the season, now can't do anything wrong.
It's unbelievable. Every week for the last 5, he's come off the bench and provided stability for this offense. And really, that was the missing piece, consistency from the quarterback position. This offense is no longer shooting itself in the foot, and everything is gelling around Jarrett Guarantano.
Guarantano will get the start tonight, but our star watch is on the other side of the ball for the Vols. Daniel Batuli coming off of a 19-tackle game, including the game-saving tackle against Kentucky.
The biggest compliment for a linebacker is when a coach calls you an eraser. It doesn't matter if the play is perfect or not. This guy finds a way to get a nose on the ball.
Missouri won the toss, elected to defer, so Tennessee will start with the football. And Jarrett Guarantano, instead of coming off the bench like he did in the second half against Kentucky, and like he did in the last 5 games, he will start the game for the University of Tennessee. He's from Lodi, New Jersey, and his dad, James, was a talented wide receiver down the road at Rutgers. He graduated in May already with a degree and spent his summer fine-tuning his game with the Manning family back in June. His starter in the backfield with him is junior running back Tim Jordan. And Guarantano will throw on first down, one-on-one jump ball, and it's incomplete, but a flag. Josh Palmer, the intended receiver. Christian Holmes had the coverage.
This is going to be a battle on the outside all night.
Defense, number 21, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Cole, oddly enough, offensive coordinator Jim Chaney called it. He said this game will depend on the whistles a lot of times with Missouri's unique coverage.
He called it a grab technique. Said basically they're going to try to grab and hold you, not let you get off the football. That's going to prevent you from taking those deep shots. I said, oh, they call that a technique these days. Huh?
Yeah, grab, catch, hold, whatever it takes. Missouri's defense has been fantastic, especially against the pass. 6th best in the country. They're loading up the backfield. Colbert, the tackle, went back there. But Tim Jordan can only find 1 yard.
How about that? They just sent their right tackle, Calvert, in motion. He steps off the ball. Watch this right here. You're going to see that's the right tackle. Step off the ball. The tight end gets in the right tackle position. He moves to the other side. That's one way to create an advantage in the blocking game.
That's
pretty creative.
That's a 330-pound motion man.
I don't think I've ever seen that. You've seen him line up over there and
Sure.
go unbalanced, but not step back and go into motion.
A little bit more traditional with this setup on 2nd and 9. And a quarterback run from Jauan Jennings, who's one of 4 guys to start at quarterback this season. Normally a wide receiver, and he loses a yard.
Boy, that's a great job by the defensive front for Missouri, one that Tennessee is going to have their hands full all night. Kobe Whiteside, number 78 here, doesn't end up making the tackle, but bounces Jauan Jennings just outside of where he wants to be and buys some time for Missouri to rally here in a 3rd down and long early for Tennessee. And look at this, Missouri is stacking the line, everybody in a 2-point stance. Some will come and the rest will jump out.
Ball's on the ground. Garantano finds it. Now he's got to scramble. Everybody covered downfield, and it's incomplete, aiming for Callaway. It almost looked like Garantano took his eyes off the ball, wasn't ready for the snap.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was, and that's the thing. This is the communication at the offensive line. Garantano's trying to sort out, wait, who's coming? Making sure my protection is right, and the offensive line was ready. He was not, and that's a big mental mistake, one that we've seen many times out of this Tennessee team. We saw it on defense to start the game against Kentucky, now on offense. A mental mistake early in the game to set back and stop a drive.
Paxton Brooks in pump formation. Rashad Floyd back from injury a couple of weeks ago for Missouri. Floyd at the 15. Floyd at the 20. And he takes it out past the 30-yard line. 45-yard punt, 16 yards on the return. Kelly Bryant was the most sought-after grad transfer quarterback in the country this past season. Missouri won the recruiting battle for him, but the season hasn't played out exactly like offensive coordinator Derek Dooley and Kelly Bryant have hoped for. The Clemson transfer has had to deal with injuries. He was hurt going into the Kentucky game. He couldn't finish that one. Didn't play against Georgia.
And they got to get better play out of Kelly Bryant, especially throwing the football downfield. One thing to watch tonight, the running game has been slow because they haven't been able to stretch the field vertically.
This is Larry Roundtree on his first carry, and Roundtree's able to pick up 8. Missouri will be without a key offensive weapon tonight. Their talented tight end, who has been such a key part of this offense, Albert Okwuegbunam, will not play. He did not practice this week. He's been limited in practice most of the season, and he is out with an injury.
And he's been such a comfort for Kelly Bryant in the short passing game. 6 touchdowns. It's a huge loss for Missouri on offense.
Bryant scrambles and whips this one to the Tennessee sideline. Daniel Batuli brought the coverage.
Quarterback was outside the pocket, threw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage.
Another thing to keep an eye on, Missouri's going to be without Jonathan Johnson, their leading wide receiver as well. So 2 of their top targets out for this game.
And it's a Missouri offense which has struggled in the season. 72nd in the country in the rush, 71st in the passing game. And they go straight ahead with Roundtree. And he's able to pick up the first down, picks up 3. Back to the ground game. Roundtree can't get past the first defender. It's Alontae Taylor, and that was perhaps the biggest difference with Larry Roundtree this season versus last, is he's having a hard time making people miss.
Yeah, and in talking to Derek Dooley, the offensive coordinator for Missouri, just the frustration over not being able to push the ball vertically. The last 3 games for Kelly Bryant, just 1 completion on a ball thrown beyond 15 yards downfield. When you don't cause a defense to guard you vertically, they're all going to stack the line of scrimmage.
Bryant trying to do just that, and he's able to hit a deep ball to Barrett Bannister. Bannister with a gain of 23. Missouri hasn't been good with chunk plays. Typically, Tennessee doesn't allow chunk plays.
Just a great job by running a deep post to hold the safeties to open up the backside crosser route. And Bryant did a good job evaluating that. Coverage was over the top. Check it down. Hit my over route for a nice chunk play.
They'll empty the backfield with Roundtree leaving to the slant. And they go right back to Bannister. Bannister, the third-year sophomore out of Fayetteville, Arkansas. Might be a featured receiver. Jeremy Pruitt, a defensive minded head coach for Tennessee, said he didn't panic when they started the season 0-2. He said, we knew we'd be better. We knew we had key players coming back. And they've certainly found their rhythm after getting past the meaty part of their schedule. Bryant is able to find Daniel Parker Jr. and he takes it for Mizzou first down. He's the backup to Okuwebanam. And the sophomore out of Blue Springs, Missouri, is able to move the chain.
That's a slick play call there by Derek Dewey. They run that split zone where the tight end comes across to block and seal off the backside. Just leaked him out there.
Roundtree runs into a wall. He's got nowhere to go. Henry To'o and Daniel Batuli, senior and freshman. And what a combination they've been at linebacker for Tennessee this season.
Yeah, and To'o has been extremely impressive. He was hurt in that Kentucky game. Talked to the coaching staff. They said dislocated his kneecap and then came back in the game. So you're going to see he's got a big brace on his knee. Watch that in coverage against those tight ends. As we mentioned, coming across the line of scrimmage, he's going to be stretched horizontally. Let's see how that athleticism fares with his hurt knee.
And To'o at the bottom of the pile again. This, by the way, a very similar injury, which cost Patrick Mahomes almost a month to play for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that he came back in the game after that happened, and he is just a week removed, or about 2 weeks removed with the bye, back on the field. That's impressive, but he is a heck of a young player. He's going to be so good. Started since day one here, and next to Batuli, that's a great combination for Tennessee, and one of the reasons they're having a lot of success on that side of the ball.
He's got a great mentor next to him at that linebacker position. Jeremy Pruitt said Batuli, one of the best teammates you could hope for. Bryant facing pressure, gets it away, complete. On third down, they find 5. They needed 7. It's Parker with another catch. And they're set up 4th and short. And Missouri will bring out the kicking team.
That's a good job by Bryant. He's working to the left, initially comes back to the right. That's just good, tight coverage by Nigel Warrior. That's a play that you designed to be just short of the sticks, hoping that you can catch that on the run, turn the corner, and pick up the first down. Warrior was all over it, though.
McCann got back on track against Florida. He had missed his previous 3 kicks, this one from 30 yards. And that one punches through. And so Tucker McCann puts the cap on an 11-play, 57-yard drive, and Missouri takes an early lead on Tennessee. Well, if they had this ride at Dollywood, it'd be a thriller. After a very slow start, Tennessee dropped its first 2 games of the season, and then the loop-de-loop started. Got whacked by both Florida and Georgia. They got through most of the hard part of the season, and they've won 4 out of their last 5. The only loss coming to Alabama, and they were as competitive in that Alabama game as anybody's been, generally speaking.
Yeah, I mean, if Garantano doesn't call his own number, go the quarterback sneak, who knows what happens in the 4th quarter? It becomes a 1-score game. So this is a team that's playing extremely well down the stretch because of the consistency from the quarterback position.
Well, let's take a look at that play. Jarrett Garantano, as you said, went rogue with a chance for a quarterback sneak that nobody else knew about.
Yeah, I mean, this was a designed lead play to the left. They have a pulling guard. They have a leading fullback. That's where the ball's supposed to go. That's a walk into the end zone. Garantano decides to call his number where there's 5 Alabama defenders stacked in the A-gaps. If he doesn't do that, it's a 1-score game, and Mac Jones was not moving the football well.
Well, as a quarterback and as a leader, you can speak to this. It wasn't just what they missed in terms of a scoring opportunity in that scenario. It was also a case of losing the locker room when you do something like that.
Absolutely. I mean, there was a couple times early this season.
Garantano able to find Jordan out of the backfield, and he's able to turn this into a big game for Tennessee and a first down.
Great job checking the ball down. But talking to Jeremy Pruitt, there's a couple times this season before that moment that Garantano was doing things maybe a little outside the playbook. And then you do that when you already don't have the complete trust of the coaches. You do something like that, you lose the locker room. I don't blame Pruitt for not starting him. You can't start a guy that players aren't trusting, but he has earned back the trust of his coaches and his teammates over the past 5 weeks coming off the bench, which is why he's starting tonight.
Including Juwan Jennings at Wildcat, Tennessee has started a total of 4 players at quarterback this season. Garantano hands this one off. It's a bend back to the near side, and something to keep in mind is Eric Garantano is playing with a hurt left hand. He had surgery on that a few weeks ago. That thing looks really stiff down there watching him on the field during warmups.
It is, and it caused a fumble against Kentucky. I mean, when he hands off to the right, this is an easy one, right? When you're going to the left, you can hold it with your right hand. If you hand off in the opposite direction, we'll see what he does this week, but against Kentucky, he was still using his right hand, which means the back of his hand hits the running back, which is very precarious, and caused a fumble in that game.
I think he borrowed that left hand from Chubbs and Happy Gilmore. Garantano sets up, and the deep out with a nice leaping catch is completed to Josh Palmer, who gets leverage at the 20 on a gain of 27, and Garantano to the air, moving the chains for UT.
Look, there's never been a question about Jarrett Garantano's arm talent. I mean, he has extreme arm talent. You can see here with this throw stretching the sideline from the right side of the field to the left. A good catch there by Josh Palmer. It's just been about trust, and he has proved with consistency and not making big mistakes over the past 5 games that he is the man for this turnaround that Tennessee has been making.
He came off the bench and hit on his first 7 passes in the win against Kentucky. On play action, that one incomplete. Marquez Callaway had it punched out by Jarvis Ware. How does Missouri's secondary match up with Tennessee's receivers?
Well, it's actually a good matchup for Missouri. I mean, Missouri is sneakily one of the better coverage and defensive teams in the country.
Jarvis Ware might have a wobbly boot, but he's going to stay in the game.
And he's one of the better corners for Missouri as he takes a knee there. Yeah, he's not right.
And so they will stop play and tend to Jarvis Ware. Missouri can't afford to lose the sophomore out of Apopka, Florida. Tigers with a 3-0 lead, but Tennessee driving. Conclusion of this play. Watch the helmet.
That's too bad. He made a great play breaking up that throw and catch from Garantano to Callaway. That's the thing. Missouri relies on long corners on the outside. They're going to play a ton of man coverage, and against these tall Tennessee receivers, that's important to note. Jarvis Ware, 6'1", 190, one of their better cover corners. He's out. Christian Holmes, number 21, who was flagged earlier in the game, will replace him.
David Gibbs, new defensive backs coach, favors a more aggressive approach. He's been great in the turnover department. His previous 2 stops at Texas Tech and Houston. Garantano on play action going down the sideline. Got a man. It is incomplete. Christian Holmes had the coverage on the 6'3", Juwan Jennings.
And I thought they might go right after Holmes again once Jarvis Ware was out of there. They did to Juwan Jennings, their best receiver, but Holmes, a lot of contact on the outside. This time no flag and really good coverage because it's a well-placed ball by Garantano up and on the outside shelf. But Holmes, just enough contact before that happened to throw Juwan Jennings off his game.
3rd down, Devil's Icebox to go for Tennessee. Garantano steps up, he'll try to scramble, and he gets taken down just 2 yards past the line of scrimmage by Nick Bolton.
Boy, and this is one where I just feel like Garantano left the pocket a little too early. They had stacked receivers on the outside, which means it's going to take a hair longer for those routes to develop. I think he just saw that hole and ran right to it, but if he would have waited a tick longer, a couple guys had an opportunity in the end zone.
Brent Cimaglia with a 34-yard attempt. 3rd in the country with 19 made field goals. And that one gets blocked at the line of scrimmage. And the Tennessee drive comes up empty. Barry Odom's squad comes up with a big stop here in a low-scoring game early. Tigers get penetration, and Cimaglia, one of the most dependable kickers in the country, has that one swatted at the line. Brett Cimagalia's field goal attempt was blocked by Kobe Whiteside. He got a good push on the inside for Missouri, and Tennessee gives it right back to the Tigers as Mizzou looks to find the end zone. It's been a rare occurrence for this offense, mainly led by Kelly Bryant, to fight his way back from a hamstring injury against Kentucky. And Bryant goes over the middle. Well, he's been able to use his tight ends even without his key tight end. That's Nico Hay, the freshman out of CBC in St. Louis.
And a really important drive here for Missouri. This is an offense that they need momentum. They need positivity. After a blocked field goal, they got to get something going right here. I love early Derek Dooley's plan of using these tight ends, short, quick throws to get Kelly Bryant's confidence back. 31 consecutive drives without a touchdown for this Missouri offense. Larry Roundtree finally has a little bit of space, and he spins forward for another. He picks up 4. Darrell Middleton, a Knoxville native, in on the stop out of the Secret City, Oak Ridge High School. Derek Dooley's probably eaten at Gus's Pizza before. Dooley, the former Tennessee head coach, OC here in his second season with Missouri. He had a pro at quarterback last season in Drew Lock. Now he's trying to still figure out what he's got in Kelly Bryant. Bryant with a toss, and this is Roundtree. And Roundtree finds just one. You ever been to Big Ed's Pizza? I have not.
Okay, we're taking you there next time we're in East Tennessee.
Yeah,
I don't know when that's
think I've
gonna
ever
be.
even heard it. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out when we are going to be there. Maybe a road trip. I don't know.
Derek Dooley said this game will humble you. Trying to figure out exactly where you are, where you need to be. Came to Mizzou from his time with the Cowboys as the wide receivers coach. Play clock is at 11. 3rd and 5 for Mizzou. Bryant faked the draw with the pitch to Roundtree, and he's going to come up just short. Needed 5, got 4. We've talked a lot about Tennessee's quarterback situation, but the Tennessee defense might be the most improved aspect of their team after the first 2 weeks.
It really is, and if you think about it, Jeremy Pruitt's got a complex system that he brings from his background with Nick Saban. I mean, it's not easy to pick up in year 1. They had a lot of turnover. They had a lot of youth. They had a lot of injuries. So this year, too, you're really starting to see this defense conceptually understand where to be, the fundamentals, the scheme that Jeremy Pruitt wants. And you're seeing the fruits of that labor.
He's calling for a fake, and that's exactly what Missouri does. The Tigers lost the ball, and it looks like it ends up with Tennessee. Jeremy Pruitt identified that as soon as Mizzou got to the line. And we got a lot to figure out here. Was the Missouri ball carrier down, and was it a first down? Because Tennessee certainly had a recovery. Jamal Brooks was the one that took off with it. Well, Pruitt's been around this game for a while. It was something he saw in the formation that identified the fake. And let's watch the tail end of it.
The ruling on the field is the ball carrier was down before the ball came out. First down.
And certainly looks down there. Ground can't cause a fumble.
How about Barry Odom rolling the dice?
Well, you heard the crowd boo a little bit when he brought on the punt team with 4th and 1. And he answered those critics. Here's how it all played out.
It's going to be a direct snap here to the up back. That's something you see in film when you see a team that's playing a little soft, have guys off the line of scrimmage. Anytime you're in that 3, 4, 5 yard range, it really just becomes almost like a wildcat play there with 2 lead blockers.
Brooks, normally a linebacker, played running back there. Bryant, backwards pass. And Mizzou's got nothing on that one. Tyler Beatty's blown up. It's a loss of 6. Nigel Warrior. Cole, what do you got?
Stopping the run is going to be a little bit more difficult for the Tennessee Volunteers tonight. Aubrey Solomon, defensive end, out for the game with a head injury. Guy that Tracy Rocker told me has really stepped his game up the last few weeks and been an integral part of why the middle of that defense has played so well.
That's 2 players lost on this cold mid-Missouri night due to head injury. Solomon, the junior out of Leesburg, Georgia. 2nd and 16. Bryant low, toe with the coverage for Tennessee.
Inaccurate throw and nothing there. That empty set where you go 5 wide receivers, something that Derek Dooley really likes for Kelly Bryant. As a quarterback, what that does, the defense can't hide anymore. If they're 2 safeties, they show it early. They can't roll. It's really tough to hide blitzes from 5 wide, so it gives Kelly Bryant a clear picture. of what the defense is doing. And here we see 4 wide, a similar set.
Missouri in danger of wasting the successful fake punt. They go with a draw on 3rd and 16. And Tyler Beatty gets just 3 out of it. Yasir Durant, the senior left tackle, is a little slow getting off the turf. So Missouri, after faking it last time on 4th and 1, comes back out with McCann on 4th and 2.
Yeah, you see the aggressiveness of a fake punt and then really not aggressive in the play calling to follow that, almost playing with house money. You'd think you'd see a shot there, but not so much.
McCann booms one to the numbers, and it's a fair catch taken by Callaway. 41-yard punt. And Tennessee will start this drive at their 14. Faurot Field, Columbia, Missouri, where they are thirsty for a winner. SEC East showdown tonight. Missouri and Tennessee. They've played some high-scoring games in this brief series. I don't know if this one's going to turn out to be as high-scoring as some of those others. The winning team has averaged 43 points a game. The first one was a 51-48 overtime contest. Garantano able to find his running back, who stays in bounds. It's a loss of 1. That's Dominic Wood Anderson from his tight end slot. Last 5 games, Garantano completing 76% of his passes, 5 touchdowns, 0 picks. Played with that bandaged hand after surgery against UAB and was okay, and then was sensational with it in the Kentucky game. Callaway in motion. Garantano out of traffic is able to whip it to Josh Palmer. And it's a gain of 11 and a Tennessee first down.
This is a big boy throw here. It's from the left hash. You're going to see a stop route all the way outside the numbers on the right. Garantano extremely accurate with this ball, putting it on the outside shoulder of Josh Palmer. What I like there is they sent Marquez Callaway in motion. With all the man coverage that Missouri does, they got to choose then. Do we run the corner across? Do we roll a safety down and create a mismatch? Wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee comes back to that motion to get some favorable matchups against this man coverage.
Only 1 safety deep for Mizzou. Garantano looking to go over the middle. He does. It's complete to Juwan Jennings, and Jennings breaks free at the 50. He's at the 40, and he takes it all the way down inside the 25 on a 52-yard catch and run for the senior out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Juwan Jennings might be one of my favorite guys to watch in all of college football. I mean, really, let's be honest. If he's running a 40, it's probably in the 4.7, high 4.7, maybe 4.8 range. But when the ball is in his hands, he wills himself to make plays time and time again. He's just a football player. One of the best Tennessee has. He's fun to watch, man. Officially 51 yards. He was the one that went into Pruitt's office. If we need to start Garantano, he gives us the best chance to win. That's Ty Chandler, who finds 2.5. I'm telling you, game speed is a real thing. Sure. I mean, I played with Jordan Matthews, and he's still playing the NFL. If you put him on a 40, it's probably a 4.8, 4.7 maybe. But when the lights turned on and he had the ball in his hands, people wouldn't catch him. Same thing with Juwan Jennings. He's not flashy, not super fast, but he just makes plays. It's been a long and winding road for Juwan Jennings in his Tennessee career. He was a hero in 2016 against Georgia. He was off the team, he was on the team, and now he's a true leader for this Tennessee team, just trying to finish the season with a flourish. First, they got to find the end zone against Mizzou through 1 quarter. On Jennings, and here's how it happens. Anytime you press on the outside, that means you got to leave space on the inside as a corner, and Juwan Jennings is going to attack the leverage in the space that slot cornerback gives him. Little move at the top creates a separation. This is all ball player right here, breaking a couple tackles and turning a big play.
Fellas, I asked Barry Odom before the game, are you concerned about the 50-50 balls on the outside? How do you adjust and try to stop them? He said, I'm not worried about them on the outside. I'm worried about when they line those receivers up in the slot and how they'll attack the middle of the field against us.
They had success attacking the middle already. That was a gain of 51. Eric Gray now running back. Garantano finds Gray. It was incomplete. It goes out of bounds, and it was a backwards pass, which it may have been. It would be a loss of yardage. They say incomplete.
And here's the thing about press coverage, like I just showed there. Anytime you have two receivers to one side, if you press on the outside, corners can't be on the same level. So one's got to be up, one's got to be back. So whichever cornerback is off the ball then creates space for these big Tennessee wide receivers to work, and that's why Odom was worried about that slot more so than the outside.
Tennessee hasn't converted a third down yet. Those dudes lost their shirts. It's really weird because it's cold tonight. 3rd and 8. Garantano complete for a Tennessee first down. Marquez Callaway, and the Volunteers are set up at a 1st and goal.
Tennessee is loving the matchup that they have with Marquez Callaway on Christian Holmes, the backup cornerback, replacing Jarvis Ware, who left the game because of injury. It's the 3rd time they've targeted Holmes. 1 penalty, 1 incompletion, and another play there. Wouldn't be surprised if they keep going back in that direction, especially down here in the low red zone.
Holmes had a decent game last week against Florida for Mizzou. On play action, Garantano have Palmer. Turns, tucks, will try to run with it, and he gets stuck at about the 3-yard line. Tyree Gillespie and Nick Bolton able to take him down. They'll set up 2nd and goal.
It's a great job by Bolton there. He's off in coverage. Garantano looked like he had some room to possibly make a run at the goal line, but Bolton's closing speed there was just too much. And he's been fun to watch in place of Cale Garrett since Cale went down.
They're going to bring in Juwan Jennings to run a Wildcat here as Garantano heads to the bench for a play or two. Jennings started the South Carolina game at quarterback. He's got room on the edge, spins it inside, and he gets popped. Whoa! And Juwan Jennings hadn't gotten up. Nick Bolton delivered a sledgehammer.
Wow. Just talked about the closing speed that Nick Bolton had on the previous play, and on this one, lays the hammer. Wow.
Buckle your jump.
That's a grown man right there going full speed at another big grown man. Jennings goes, what was that?
It's 235 versus 208. He says, Jarrett, you can be quarterback again. 3rd and goal. Straight ahead, Tennessee finds the end zone. Kavaris Couch, the part-time linebacker, is able to punch it in to finish up a 9-play, 86-yard drive.
A little reminiscent there of that Alabama play we showed earlier. Sticks with the lead draw there and punches it in.
Remember, Missouri blocked the field goal already. This is Samaglia for the point after. And he yanked it a bit, but inside the post. And Tennessee is able to take the lead. They turn to the power running back. Kavaris Couch, linebacker, running back, touchdown regardless.
In the 2nd quarter, guys.
Dari, thanks for using Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of the backfield a lot. 7 receptions already. That'd be the most underrated portion of that LSU team. No chance for a return for Mizzou. Here's a look at the top 10. Ohio State held off Penn State after coughing the ball up a few times in the 2nd half. Made that thing interesting. Clemson sitting at home watching. And Georgia got by Texas A&M.
Tell you what, Chase Young is a game changer for Ohio State.
Yeah.
I mean, he cannot be blocked.
Well, you can't be blocked with one guy, so I don't know why they kept trying to do it.
No, I don't know either. Penn State seemingly had a lot of confidence in their right tackle, and it didn't play out well. He was a monster in his return from the 2-game suspension.
J.K. Dobbins had 157 yards and 2 touchdowns with Eddie George looking on. He passed Eddie George, the all-time Ohio State rush list. Smokey trying to stay warm on a cold night here in Como. Bryant with the handoff, and this is Tyler Beatty. Beatty getting taken out after a gain of 7. Cole, what do you see differently with this Missouri offense?
Well, the first thing, and guys, this seems to be a bit of a reoccurring theme with our crew. Derek Dooley, offensive coordinator, has come down to the sidelines for the first time in his career as a play caller. He was in the booth all of last year and all of this year. Now, calling him from the sideline.
Former Tennessee head coach. Bryant wants it back and lets it go. A wobbler that is incomplete, but Jonathan Nance still had a chance to haul that one in.
And here's the thing, as a play caller, the booth is where you want to be because you can see the field. You can kind of remove the emotion from the game. You can think more clearly. You don't have to rely on somebody to communicate with you coverage and personnel grouping. But when your quarterback is struggling, you can't replace looking him in the eye and talking through every play on the sideline after a series. That's why Dooley's down on the field.
3rd down 4. And Beatty rips it straight up the middle. Beatty with the big gain. Is it just me, or was that kind of a quick look over, quick snap?
Yeah, it was. That was the play they had designed, and looked at the defense. It was balanced. It was even. Stuck with the play here. As you see, they got 3 to the left. Their left, your right on the TV screen. Kept with the play.
Bryant taking a shot down the sideline. And it's hauled in by Jalen Knox. A gain of 32. Bryce Thompson somehow couldn't find it.
Yeah, Bryce Thompson just gets lost here. He looks back, the ball comes the other way. Knox does a great job of making a play there. But a good ball by Kelly Bryant. I mean, the thing is, when you're struggling, don't overthrow guys. Leave it on the field and always give your receiver a chance to make a play, and he did it.
Clemson transfer with a 6 of 9 start for Mizzou. And Knox gets popped. It's toe for no gain.
Here's what we haven't seen, and here's what has been different about this Missouri offense over the last couple weeks as well, is the hamstring injury for Kelly Bryant has really limited the amount of quarterback design runs and the amount that they can use him outside the pocket. Now, he's healthy, but not quite 100%.
Yeah.
And you haven't seen Derek Dooley use him in the manner that was successful earlier in the season because of that.
That was part of his promise, is coming in as one of the most highly touted transfer quarterbacks. Here's Beatty. And Beatty shoots his way forward for a gain of 7. You consider the offseason when Missouri was able to lock up Kelly Bryant and beat out some other SEC schools for him. He was one of the most highly sought after quarterbacks out there, including Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts. He was ranked in front of Fields and just behind Hurts. And what a difference in production for those two guys who will likely end December in New York City. Bryant will keep it this time. He's got a Missouri first down. And it's a gain of 8. Darrell Middleton with the stop. And Middleton slow getting up. Remember, Cole mentioned Aubrey Solomon at 1-inch spot is already out for the game for Tennessee.
I'll tell you what, Kelly Bryant looked a little slow getting up after that run as well. I mean, you can tell he just doesn't have that 5th gear, which is fine. I mean, he can make a great play like he did there on a zone read. That's the right read. He can pick up yards, but looked like he came up a little slow and doesn't quite have that burst that he had earlier in the season.
Let's see if we get a handoff here on 1st and goal. He'll throw, pop in zone, and it's incomplete. Jonathan Nance, the intended receiver. Watch Kelly Bryant at the end of that first down run.
This is kind of how he hurt himself against Kentucky, running out of bounds, slowing himself down. Tackled around the ankles there, pops up, and just kind of walked back a little slow. So keep an eye on that.
I mentioned one way that might affect him in a moment is Parker motions, blitz. Bryant fakes to nobody, then flips it out to Beatty. And Beatty finds the end zone. 33 consecutive drives without a touchdown, snapped on that 7-yard swing pass.
one of the bright spots of this offense through their struggles. He's such a dangerous weapon, catching the ball out of the backfield. And right there, a little misdirection. Bryant faked to nobody, but just the hesitation here keeps those linebackers inside long enough to create a leverage issue on the outside. And Beatty does the rest.
th touchdown pass of the season for Kelly Bryant. Tucker McCann on for the point after for Mizzou. And McCann's point after is good. And so the Tigers reclaim the lead. Mizzou up after the touchdown pass from Kelly Bryant. The Memphis native Tyler Beatty. 10-7. Tight one early in Boone County.
Watch Nigel Warrior on this last extra point here. A couple weeks ago, we saw an O-lineman do a cartwheel on the field. Warrior gets down in almost like a push-up position.
I don't know what he was doing.
I have no idea.
Then again, I didn't know what you were doing last night at Shiloh when you grabbed the cymbals and you started performing with Marching Mizzou.
I'm an entertainer. I saw an opportunity. I don't know.
Your guys.
There's my guys. That's what I was doing last night.
They came into the tavern and you saw an opportunity. So let me
That
play.
was actually him. He gave me the cymbals.
He also gave a White Claw to the tuba player. Speaking of White Claws, let's go back to Dari in the studio.
I am not 100% sure what to think about that, but we'll go with it. Justin Jefferson touchdown from Joe Burrow, 28-6. Guys, Burrow's got 40 touchdown passes, 4 shy of Drew Lock's SEC record.
That's a pretty good number. Ain't no laws when it comes to the claws or when it comes to the passing game last couple of years in this league. We knew Drew Lock was going to be an NFL guy. It looks like Joe Burrow has turned into that for LSU.
Yeah, and crazy to think just the turnaround that Burrow had. I mean, he was completing 58% of his passes last year.
Garantano on play action.
Now he's 78%.
Does it concern you from a next level perspective with Burrow that the pro style offense is very similar to the offense that he was in last year at LSU?
A little bit. I will say the offenses are continuing to evolve, and some, not all, offenses at the NFL are adapting more college schemes. I will say what they're doing now, the concepts are all things you see at the next level. Maybe the formations and how they do it is slightly different, but he's doing everything he needs to do at the next level. I would just be worried about the body of work.
Sure.
Right?
LSU a half away from going to 11-0 on the season. On 2nd and 10, Garantano, a bullet over the middle, a little bit wide, trying to find Jennings. Good to see Juwan Jennings back on the field after that goal line hit he sustained on the last Tennessee drive. To be honest, the way he took that hit, I didn't know if we'd see him again.
You can't really say you just got your bell rung anymore, because a lot of times that's what used to be the excuse for a concussion. But he's got his bell rung. He's got hit hard a little bit, needed a breather. Back out there, 3rd and 10 here. Missouri's going to press on the outside, go man coverage. It's Marquez Callaway who they've been going to in these situations.
Garantano leaves the pocket early again and throws on the run into traffic. It is incomplete. Try to find Jennings. Coverage by Missouri. They had a host of dudes there, including Perkins.
Well, they were trying to push the ball downfield to Marquez Callaway on a post route. Had an opportunity to hit it, but Garantano had to get outside the pocket.
So Garantano goes 0 for 3 on that drive. He's now 6 for 13 tonight. Ryan Walters' defense doing a great job against him. If you're the Tennessee side, do you consider a quarterback change or Garantano ride or die tonight?
No, I think it's Garantano ride or die just because of what he can do in the run game. That's what Pruitt mentioned. This team, they're going to stack the box. They're going to go man coverage. In order to run successfully, Garantano's got to do it a lot at the line of scrimmage to help them out. So
Paxton Brooks out of Lexington, South Carolina gets it away. And that'll check up for a 36-yard punt. Ty Chandler able to down it for Tennessee. 9:03 to go in the first half here in Columbia. LSU will continue to be in great shape in the college football playoff. By the way, that last drive from Mizzou, their first touchdown since October 26th against Kentucky. It was the longest active streak in the FBS. 32 consecutive drives without a touchdown for Derek Dooley's offense. Now back at it. And by the way, they're doing it without Albert Okwuegbunam and Jonathan Johnson. Albert O out with a shoulder injury, didn't practice this week. Jonathan Johnson with a clavicle injury. Two key players in the Missouri passing game. Bryant turns and hands it off to Larry Roundtree. Now Roundtree's only able to find one. Daniel Batuli coming off of a big performance with 19 tackles against Kentucky in there for Tennessee. Well, Batuli was fantastic against the Wildcats. They needed a big goal line stop. He's got 4 tackles here tonight. Batuli was able to make that stop on a Kentucky option look. Roundtree again, and still nothing again. That time it was Nigel Warrior came up to lay the lick after he was laying down on the point after.
These are the situations that are toughest for Derek Dooley. These third and medium, third and long situations. Not Kelly Bryant's strong suit to sit back there in the pocket and read through multiple receivers in a concept. So see if they try to go something quick. So they're 2-by-2, 4 wide.
Slot looked open for a minute.
QB draw could be open here.
Bryant hesitates, now pulls the trigger, and it's high. Jonathan Nance was the intended receiver. What is going through Kelly Bryant's head when he hesitates in the pocket instead of delivering it quickly?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Kelly Bryant is one of those, mechanical is not the right word, but he's a rhythm thrower. He needs to hitch up, be in rhythm to be accurate. He hesitated a little bit right there. Anytime you have a dig route, as a quarterback, you're trying to figure out which window is it going to come into. Is it the first window or is it the second window, depending on where the linebacker was? That time it was the second window. He hesitated. Ball came out inaccurately.
Got a great punt from Tucker McCann. It'll take a Mizzou hop and get out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. So Jarrett Garantano back on offense for Tennessee. We talked about this earlier. That was a 33-yard punt. Tom Hart with Jordan Rodgers. The decision that Jarrett Garantano made to call his own number at the goal line against Alabama wasn't just the effect it had on the field, but also the effect in the locker room. So let's push it forward. He comes off the bench in 5 games. He's been magnificent. Can you regain the trust just like that?
Absolutely. I mean, when you're completing 75% of your passes in the second half and you're making the right decisions, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception in relief over those past 5 games, he's done everything to earn the trust back, not just from his teammates, which is a little bit easier, but from your coaches.
Sure, that's a big part, right?
That's the more difficult part. Can they trust him? And right now they absolutely can.
At a Bergen Catholic in Lodi, New Jersey, here's Tim Jordan. And Tim Jordan finds 6.
And that's the thing. You may wonder, why did we talk about the Alabama game, the quarterback sneak? Well, because it took the last 4 games for Garantano to really completely gain the trust back from his head coach. A head coach that even he calls himself, I'm a little hard-headed at times. He's an old ball coach, but Garantano has always been the most talented, gives them the best chance to win, and now playing at a high level within the offense.
Looks like movement on Tennessee and some extra pushing and shoving after. Wanye Morris, a freshman, who's one of the guys still in the mix there.
False start offense, number 56, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
First flag on Tennessee tonight. Steve Marlowe is our referee.
Second and 9 at the 26.
Tennessee came in 103rd in the country in rush offense. They've lived up to that reputation tonight.
That's a good defensive front for Missouri. Jordan Elliott, one of the better defensive tackles in this league. Kobe Whiteside playing at a high level. They move around a lot. It's a tough team to get going on the ground.
Elliott lined up right on top of Brandon Kennedy, the center. Now he drops in coverage, and that one complete to Marquez Callaway. It's a gain of 6. Cole, before the game, you're talking with Jim Chaney on the field, Tennessee's offensive coordinator. What do you have to say about dealing with all of Missouri's movement up front?
No, it's an absolute headache. They're going to give you so many different looks. You saw one right there. What they do a great job with, Tom, is occupying offensive linemen. You saw 2 defensive tackles lined up in both A-gaps. That makes life very difficult on the guard and center to know who they're going to be able to help, where different guys are going. They'll stem the front before the snap, and then obviously a ton of movement with twists, slants, and stunts after the snap.
Elliott's head leader up front. We've had coordinators tell us all season they've had the game plan for number 1 in black and gold. Garantano throws on the run. It's complete for a Tennessee first down to Eric Gray, freshman out of Memphis, who had 1 carry for 0 yards against Kentucky. Now they're using it more tonight.
And watch the patience here by Garantano. Right away, it's covered, but he holds on the ball, looks downfield, which gets Adam Sparks to back off the running back there a little bit, open up the window again for the dump off in the first down. If you throw that right away, it's probably a tackle and it might be short. Get your eyes downfield, you move these defenders and open up the route that he wanted to go to right off the bat anyway.
We got movement on the right side of the Tennessee line this time.
False start, offense number 74. 5-yard lead, first down.
That's K'Ron Calvert.
The right tackle here with some early movement. I mean, Cole was talking about all the movement that this defensive front will give you. As an offensive lineman, you sit there, you're trying to anticipate it. You get your mind away from where the snap count is a little bit. That leads to some of those false starts. We've seen 2 over the last few plays.
You don't want to get a head start on you.
Right. You know where he's going. You try to beat him there. You just got to do it after the snap.
So now 1st and 15. Garantano deep out, complete, and a huge gain to Marquez Callaway. That's a pickup of 22.
This is an unbelievable route. The second time they've come. It's just a circus route. So it's a stem corner. He's going to push the leverage inside on Christian Holmes right there. And then he's going to break it back out.
Why do they
fakes the post, breaks it back out.
Why do they call it a circus route? Where'd that name come from?
It's a great question. I have no idea.
Hold on.
They just tell me what it's called. That's what we call it back in college. A lot of NFL teams call it a circus route. But, you know, verbiage changes all the time.
Tennessee wearing those Circus Peanuts britches tonight. Garantano incomplete. Trying to find Tim Jordan. The running backs have been a key part of Tennessee's offensive attack in the passing game tonight. Jordan exits as Tennessee looks now to 2nd and 10.
Jordan's got to adjust back inside just a little bit. One that he should have caught, but never easy as a running back to get out there in space and flip your hips. And I mean, as a quarterback, you always want to put it right between their numbers if you can.
Ty Chandler now in a running back. Huge hole on the right side for Chandler, maybe because there was holding. And a flag came in at the tail end of what would be a first down run. Chandler, the junior from Nashville, gained 12.
Holding, offense number 74. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, second down.
Another one on Calvert, who moved off sides earlier this drive.
Yeah, right tackle here. That's 2 penalties on this drive. Just gets his hands on the outside. A little ticky-tack in my opinion, but Pruitt's going to talk to him on the sideline. True freshman Darnell Wright just checked into the game at right tackle.
And just wasted a bulldoze by Trey Smith on that play.
Wright has started 6 games at right tackle, but it's not very often you get pulled from a game on the offensive line for making a mistake. On 2nd and 18. This is Brian Maurer, quarterback. And on the run, he throws it behind his receiver. Nick Bolton stalking Marquez Callaway after the hit, after the incompletion.
Callaway's down on the ground still. Not sure why you bring Maurer in there.
New right tackle and new quarterback. You might be replacing one of your key receivers. Watch Nick Bolton on this hit to Marquez Callaway. Callaway was vulnerable after he got turned around, and that's a full slab of ribs. Can't get those at Calhoun's. Tennessee will be looking at a 3rd and 18, and they're tending to the senior wide receiver Callaway.
More than anybody's seen. Huh?
All right, Johnny, thanks. Looking forward to what you guys have to say at the half. Busy day in the SEC again, and a busy night as well with 3 games going on right now. Garantano's back in at quarterback. And it looks to the seam, and that is Jawan Jennings who hauls it in for a gain of 20.
This is an incredible catch and a really good throw by Garantano. You might think this is inaccurate. He's got to throw it on the back hit because Nick Bolton, in a cover 2 look, is dropping to the middle of the field, reading eyes. If that ball is out in front, Bolton's got a chance to make a play on it. Great throw by Garantano.
2 tight ends now for Tennessee, and they try to run it and find just one with Ty Chandler, the Nashville native. Jordan Elliott, who's been magnificent over the last 5 games, in to make the tackle for Mizzou. Elliott epitomizes some of Missouri's promise and problems this year against Vanderbilt. A career-high 5 tackles, but he was offsides twice on Vanderbilt's game-clinching drive. That was the one that got away from Missouri. And you get that one back, you have a whole different attitude about their season. Garantano, sideline shot, open for a minute and overthrew Josh Palmer. And we got a flag on the far sideline. Palmer is back in the pocket.
There is no foul for roughing the passer.
Good to know. I like the way they communicate these days. That was Trey Williams out of Rockbridge High School just south of Como. And
He did a good job of holding off there.
a little bump.
Even a quarterback like me could admit that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay picking that one up.
One-time Rockbridge head coach Barry Odom talking to Trey Williams about that play. Missouri can't afford mistakes. On 3rd and 9. Garantano pressure, and he got popped, and we got a flag on the Missouri coverage. And it looks like it'll be Holmes' flag for the 2nd time tonight.
Garantano took a hit.
Kobe Whiteside is the one that got him. But the flag is in the secondary. Missouri, one of the best passing defenses in the country, 6th best in the nation, and part of a top 10 defense overall under Ryan Walters.
Pass interference, defense number 21. The bump placed at the spot of the foul, automatic 1st down.
They're going to get Christian Holmes again. He's going to be matched up on Jawan Jennings here. A little bit of contact there. That's okay, though. I mean, it is. You see where the ref was? That ref had the angle to a little bit of a pull on the shoulder pad.
Yep.
The jersey on the shoulder there, but I don't know. I mean, that might be one that I let go.
Garantano changed the play. Here's Tim Jordan. And Jordan finds 5.
By definition, a little tug on the jersey. Yeah. Can you blame the ref for throwing it? No, but might be one I keep in my pocket.
This will be the 12th play of the drive for Tennessee. Tigers and Volunteers in a dogfight tonight. Holmes is over Callaway near side. And Missouri able to penetrate. No gain on Tim Jordan.
That's where you see that late stem by the defensive line be so effective. You've already made your calls as your center. You've already set the defense you've already declared verbally who you're going to be working with, all of a sudden the front changes and the ball is snapped a second later.
And Cole, it looked like Riley Locklear, the right guard, is the one who had the missed assignment.
Yeah, it's difficult because Garantano changed the play right before that because of where Missouri was aligned. The Missouri changes, tough for an offensive line to pick that up on the fly.
On 3rd and 5, Missouri brings the house. Garantano is able to find Jennings. Jennings loses one tackler, then a second, and he takes it all the way into the end zone. 16 yards as Jauan Jennings fights for a Tennessee score.
Wow. A ball player. Second time we've seen Jauan Jennings make a monster play after the catch. And again, just too much cushion. I mean, Missouri's a team that lives and dies off pressing on the outside. But in the slot is where Tennessee is attacking this defense because there is not press coverage, there's cushion. And Jauan Jennings had a lot of space to work with on that play.
So Maglia punches it through. Tennessee hasn't missed a point after since 2014. 13-play drive capped by this.
And just look at all the cushion. And it's a great throw by Garantano. But too much space in the red zone. You can't give a receiver like Jennings 6-7 yards. Look at that. I mean, that's as easy as it gets. It's a quick little out route.
You still have to make the tackle after the catch.
100%. And if you do, it's obviously not a touchdown. But in the first place, that's a lot of space to be given their best receiver, Joshua Bledsoe, the safety, with the task of guarding Jennings when he's in the slot.
We talked with Barry Odom yesterday about his pass defense and the ability for this defense with takeaways. He said, Ryan Walters really convinced me to bring David Gibbs in. Gibbs is a guy who preaches a totally different style than what Barry Odom has been used to and what he has run in his previous stops, not only as a defensive coordinator here, but also in his brief stop at Memphis. And to simplify it to the extreme, it can be a high-risk, high-reward defense. Beatty won't take a chance on a return. This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you, Allstate. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kublik, our fantastic SEC Network crew. Great time last night, our end of the season a week early wrap party. And we darkened the doors of a local bowling alley, and let's say we left our mark.
Yeah, we lit it up. Somehow my lane had a couple open frames, and I ended up bowling like 3 different games. My arm is hanging today.
Kelly Bryant dumps that one off at the feet of Beatty. Matthew Butler brought the pressure.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. Number 1 was in the area.
Great job by JJ to put the party together for us last night, and smart of her as always to bring bail money along.
Well, you know, you get us to a bowling alley with some pizza and some beverages. It's a good recipe for trouble.
They set a record for White Claws last night. Here's Barrett Bannister, another grab. They've already used him 3 times tonight. He has a gain of 8. He had 3 catches in total in the game against Florida. Without the slot, Jonathan Johnson, Bannister with more opportunity tonight. On 3rd and 2, 2-minute offense for Missouri. Straight ahead, Beatty. Toe in there with Greg Emerson for a stop after a gain of 5, and Missouri wants to pick up the pace.
Yeah, Missouri working with all 3 timeouts still, so every play for Derek Dooley is an option.
Bryant pressured. Trying to find some space, doesn't have that breakaway speed, and he will slowly make his way to the sideline. You brought up a great point with Derek Dooley. In that Florida game, Kelly Bryant was able to elude the first rusher, but didn't have the burst to get by the second.
It was amazing. Watching that Florida tape. I mean, so many times Florida had a free shot like this, and Kelly's able to avoid the rusher. But here, that burst we're used to seeing, as you can see, there's a little bit of a hitch in that trot. Just wasn't there. He wasn't able to make the dynamic plays we're used to seeing from him outside the pocket, the plays that can really hurt a defense.
4-man rush for Tennessee. Bryant is able to find Bannister. Gain of 4. So 3rd and 1. Just under a minute to go. Both teams have their full allotment of timeouts remaining. Pressure, and he flips it to the sideline. Tennessee able to get pressure on it from Henry To'o. And he'll have intentional grounding to add insult to injury on that pressure package from UT.
Bryant just a little late to realize. Right here, got to get rid of it. Got to throw it over the head of Jonathan Nance, number 4, to that side of the field. You start to retreat. You run out of space. You got to get that ball past the line of scrimmage.
Intentional grounding, offense number 7. It's a loss down at the spot of the foul. Tennessee has declined the 10-second runoff. The game clock will start on the snap.
So Tennessee's going to be in position here to try to take another shot.
Tennessee's like, we got all 3 timeouts. 51 seconds is a long time when you have all 3 timeouts.
Tucker McCann to punt it away. They'll let it roll. That'll lead some clock and find some yardage for Missouri. And be down just inside the 25-yard line. 47-yard punt from Tucker McCann. Coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of Marching Mizzou on SEC Network Plus. Start streaming now on the ESPN app. Yeah, Shiloh Bar and Grill was a site last night. The Marching Mizzou made their rounds, as is typical on a Friday night, through the various establishments. They came through right after we did, and Jordan was the band leader for a song or two.
Yeah.
Hey Baby, I think, is what you were leading.
Yep.
And then you took over and participated with the percussion section.
I took my talents to the cymbals, and I felt like I crushed it.
I was mostly impressed by the guy in the back who was playing a bucket. Yeah, he didn't have a drum, but he was touring downtown with the squad with a bucket.
5-gallon bucket. Killing it.
Timeout. Tennessee, their first of the half. 30-second timeout.
And so Tennessee will take a timeout to talk about it. I hope they're not talking about your cymbal playing moment last night. But if you're Tennessee and you have this opportunity here, 38 seconds left, how many shots do you want to take?
Well, I think Jim Chaney has a lot of trust in Jarrett Garantano right now. So I think you take a shot over the middle of the field. See if you can get something to spit for 20, 25 yards, and then make a decision on using a timeout and figuring out where you're at as far as field goal position, where you want to be to try to get some points here at the end of the half. But I don't think this is going to be one that Jim Chaney's just going to say, let's run this out. I think they're going to take a shot here.
Is this how you saw this first half going?
Not entirely, honestly. I think Mizzou has played better than I anticipated on offense. I mean, you think about it, no Albert Okwuegbunam, no Jonathan Johnson. That's their top 2 targets out. I think they've ran the football more effectively than I thought they would. They've taken a couple shots downfield. So it's a lot closer early than I maybe anticipated for what Missouri's missing.
Let's see what Garantano has up his sleeve. 11 of 20 for $199 so far tonight. Tim Jordan straight ahead and just shy of the first down. Are they going to measure? They're going to call it a first down. That'll save Tennessee from having to use a timeout. Well, they motioned to move the chain.
Yeah.
And now they will. And the clock will start as soon as the chain's set.
Timeout. Tennessee. Their second of the half. 30-second timeout.
They ran a few seconds off there. About at 31 at the end of that play.
I said set the chain. I misspoke. It should be when the ball is set.
Yes.
So they could have gotten going any moment, but everybody's moving a little slowly.
Set the game clock to 30 seconds.
Okay.
3-0.
That's what I thought. I was surprised Tennessee didn't take an immediate timeout.
Well, did they need to take one since they picked up the first down? They had the clock stop for a moment at least.
I think because you have a few extra, you take one there just so you can save 3, 4, 5 seconds or so and think about a play. instead of hurrying to the line of scrimmage, now you can dial up a play that you know and want and are comfortable with in trying to get a chunk play.
So Tennessee with 1 timeout remaining, and the officials trying to get on the same page. Garantano, Maurer, and Jennings have all taken snaps at quarterback tonight for the Volunteers. And Garantano been okay tonight, but only 11 of 20.
Yeah, but he's done a good job of throwing catchable balls over the middle of the field in traffic. And then really the story has been Jauan Jennings after the catch, making plays, a big gain early in this game, and then the touchdown you just saw there.
Making the most out of those completions. 199 yards on 11 of them. Sideline shot again. Nice grab, Josh Palmer. And a Tennessee first down. That's a gain of 23. They're already pretty close to field goal range for Brent Cimaglia, who's been sensational. He's got a long of 53 this year.
I can't understate the difficulty of that throw. Garantano put that in a perfect spot with the cornerback underneath in coverage. Adam Sparks. Palmer made a great catch on the sideline.
It'd be a 59-yarder from here for Cimaglia. Strong leg, but a cold night. Temperatures near freezing here in Columbia. Garantano, another shot to the sideline, and another Tennessee completion. Palmer went down hard, but he picks up 19. The Tennessee receivers are taking a beating from Missouri defenders and the field tonight. And we've got an injured Missouri player all the way back past midfield. And that's going to stop the clock.
I think Palmer's a little shaken up here. This is just cover 2. So you got a cornerback in underneath coverage and a safety. Gillespie there over the top. When you throw this route, you are always going to have a bang-bang play with that cover 2 safety over the top. And that's a brave catch right there by Palmer. He knows when he goes up that he's going to get hit.
T. Martin, the wide receivers coach at Tennessee, after winning a national title for him in '98. Trey Williams coming off the field. Tennessee has had 7 completions tonight of 20 yards or more. And those big completions and chunk plays have put Tennessee once again right back in Missouri territory.
And Jauan Jennings right here in the slot with some cushion again.
Garantano scrambling. He's at the 15, the 10, and he slides down. Stop the clock with 8 after a scramble of 12. All right, 8 seconds left. You got a timeout.
Yeah, you should use that here.
So you use it here. You take one shot through the air. Then if you miss it, get a field goal.
Well, they're going to go field goal right now.
Their third and final timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Kind of surprised that how many seconds they let run off there. About 5 seconds ran off. There's about 8 seconds at the end of that play. I'm surprised they didn't call a timeout immediately. Take maybe one shot in the end zone, a jump ball, throw a line drive.
Sure.
If he comes down with it, great. If not, kick the field goal.
So instead of perhaps being up 21-10, Tennessee at most will be up a touchdown.
And Garantano is working the left slot to Jennings. Good coverage there, so he uses his legs. But when he goes down, there's 8 seconds left here. If you call a quick timeout, you maybe have time to take a shot in the end zone. But again, it's neither here nor there. It's the safe play. Chip shot field goal to go up 7 before the half. It's not the worst case scenario either.
Kobe Whiteside blocked the last one from Missouri. It was a 34-yard attempt from Cimaglia. It leads the SEC in percentage. Third in the country with 19 field goals made. This is from 27. Whiteside lined up over the right guard. And Cimaglia knuckles that one through. He's 1 for 2 tonight, and Tennessee has a touchdown lead at the half. A brilliant execution of the 2-minute offense to be in position to add to the lead.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, that's the benefit of having some timeouts in your pocket and having an experienced quarterback that's playing more confidently than he has all season in Jarrett Garantano, and Jim Chaney showing a lot of faith in his quarterback.
Cole standing by with Coach Pruitt.
Coach Pruitt, heck of a 2-minute drive there. How does that field goal change the demeanor of your team going into the half?
Well, we got to be able to run the ball on offense. We ain't been able to run the ball effectively. You know, they've gave us a couple of different looks up there, and we've let some guys shoot through on stunts and stuff, create too many negative plays. We got to create some explosive plays, and we got to get in manageable third downs. Too many penalties that hurt us there in the first half offensively.
You mentioned wanting to run the football better, but you told me before the game you were going to go ahead and let Jarrett air it out. Said, why not? Let him shoot. How has he been so successful today?
Well, we've got to do a better job protecting him to start with. He has got the ball out of his hands. These guys play a lot of man-to-man, so if we can give them some time, maybe we can win out there.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
To Jeremy Pruitt's point, Tennessee has run for only 53 yards. Missouri only 55. Chilly night here in Columbia, Faurot Field. I know the studio is nice and toasty. Let's go back to the big three, Dari, Chiz, and Doran.
All right, Tom, thank you much. Regions Bank halftime report.
This is Faurot Field, Columbia, Missouri. And tonight is SEC Saturday night, and it's senior night for Mizzou. Spins it inside, and he gets popped. And Tennessee finds the end zone. Beatty, a 7-yard swing pass. Tonight in Columbia, Jeremy Pruitt's team looks to continue their turnaround. They have a touchdown lead at the half as Pruitt decides to start Jarrett Garantano, and he's led Tennessee to an early lead. Meanwhile, Barry Odom's looking to right the ship. Mizzou needs to find some offense. 10 in the first half behind the direction of Kelly Bryant. They need to add to that if they want a win. It's kind of chilly here. Tom Hart alongside Jordan Rogers. Cole Kublik down on the field. How do you make out the first half?
Well, it's interesting. Tennessee has found chunk plays in the passing game. I thought that might be an area that was going to be a little bit of a chess match with how good Missouri's been on the outside, but Tennessee's been able to attack the slot. And they've found a lot of success with Juwan Jennings and their big receivers against safeties for Missouri's defense.
And remember, a couple of defensive pass interference calls against Missouri early. That has affected them. We're going to learn from Cole in just a moment how they plan to make changes to that secondary, or if it's just a matter of execution in the second half. No return for Missouri. Let's check in with Cole Kublik.
Hey, Tom, Barry Odom told me coming out, he said offensively, we have to get the run game going. He believes that there are a couple of lanes that they're going to be able to find on this first drive. Going to try a few things different. I asked him about the defense, some of the big plays down the middle. And he said, listen, the calls were correct. I like the calls that we had. We're just not executing correctly. Didn't make the correct switches back in coverage, but there don't need to be many adjustments made on that side of the football.
Missouri got their first touchdown since late October against Kentucky. That was the week before Halloween. Derek Dooley, you saw in the background shot a moment ago, is down on the field directing this offense with Kelly Bryant at quarterback. Tennessee brings a corner blitz, and Missouri's got nowhere to go. The blitz was coming from one side, and Karat Garland was coming from the other.
Boy, look at Garland here. Starting over the center, just a swim move, and blows that one up. In that zero nose technique. Tough for a center because that guy can go either way. You're not sure where he's going to go. And Garland just beat him right off the snap.
Garland had 125 tackles and 12.5 sacks his senior year at Heritage High School in Conyers, Georgia. It's a big number. Mizzou empties the backfield on 2nd and 13. Tennessee brings 3. And Bryant able to find some room to Jonathan Nance over the middle. Pickup of 10.
And not surprising, the first pass of the second half for Missouri. Derek Dooley dials up the empty set, gives Kelly Bryant a clear picture of what he's looking at, and he finds Nance just underneath the cover 2 safety for a completion.
So it leaves 3rd and 3. Corner blitz coming again. Bryant gets rid of it late, and it was behind his intended receiver, Knox. And Kelly Bryant ended up being thrown to the turf. Darrell Taylor, Alante Taylor, no relation, both came after him.
Boy, and it's a great play design. If Bryant has just a tick longer, he's going to come to this crossing route that's wide open, but took a little bit too long to develop. Darrell Taylor was all over him there.
Marquez Callaway back to receive this punt from Tucker McCann, averaging 40 yards a punt tonight. And this will drive Callaway back to the 21. Callaway sheds the first, gets taken down by a trio of Tigers after that. And that's where Jarrett Guarantano will direct the offense from after a 47-yard punt and a 15-yard return. Chris Winkie with some last-second instructions to Guarantano. How did you think he played in the first half?
I thought he played great. I mean, you can see the arm talent. He was pushing the ball to all corners of the field. He was getting some help from his receivers in yards after the catch. But I can tell you what, Jim Chaney, being the old-school football coach that he is, I guarantee at halftime was not happy with how Tennessee's been running the football. And I'd expect, as much as the pass has been successful, they're going to have a renewed focus on getting the ground game going in the second half.
Unlike Dooley, Chaney directing the offense from up in the coach's booth for Tennessee. On play action, Guarantano, a bullet to Jauan Jennings, and he takes it to the logo and the midfield. A pickup of 16. Devin Nicholson, the freshman from Detroit, in on the stop.
I mean, at some point, Missouri's going to have to adjust. This is the same matchup that we saw Tennessee exploit for the touchdown, where Jauan Jennings made a couple guys miss after the catch. There's just too much cushion on these slots, playing man coverage and allowing Tennessee receivers a lot of space in the slot.
We've talked a lot about how Nick Bolton has picked up the pace since Cale Garrett was lost for the season due to an injury earlier this year. And straight up the middle, another big gain for Tennessee. This is Tim Jordan, and it's a pickup of 17. And while Bolton has picked up the slack left by Garrett being gone, they're being forced to replace Garrett with a freshman in Devin Nicholson.
A lot of good movement here. Trey Smith on a double team. A good read by Tim Jordan there of keeping that vertical. Instead of pushing front side, you see a hole, hit it, and hit it with speed.
Nicholson made his first career start against Kentucky, in on a tackle again, but only after a Tennessee first down. Missouri brings an extra man. Pocket holds, Guarantano takes a shot, and it's incomplete. Marquez Callaway was the nearest receiver. He was being draped by Christian Holmes, and we got multiple flags after the play. Missouri's had some issue with personal foul penalties over the course of this season, especially as the losses have mounted. And if Trey Williams out of Rockbridge just got flagged for that one, it will be costly and would be an automatic first down.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 93, Missouri, his first of the game. We also have unsportsmanlike conduct, number 4 for Tennessee, his first of the game. Those fouls cancel. It'll be second down.
So Dominic Wood Anderson and Trey Williams got into it.
And just a little extracurricular activity here, both locked up. Good job by Dominic Wood Anderson in the blocking there. And, you know, I'm glad in a scenario like this that they call it both ways, right? A lot of times we'll see the second guy only get flagged there. Call it both ways and move on so it doesn't benefit one team more than the other.
Both one of those, and either one of them would be ejected over the head of Jauan Jennings. We actually talked to Barry Odom yesterday about some of the personal foul penalties this team has incurred. He said, listen, we punish them every day when you commit a penalty like that. This is something we preach in practice daily. They're down 10.
This is the matchup they like right here with Jauan Jennings in the slot. See if they go back to it.
Working on the safety, Bledsoe. And Jennings nowhere near it. So after a couple of big plays, Tennessee's drive stalls. They'll bring out Samaglia for another field goal attempt. He's 1 for 2 tonight.
That's just a miss there by Guarantano. Jauan Jennings working in the slot on Bledsoe. Had a curl route. You're taught as a receiver to come back straight down to the quarterback. Guarantano threw that one a little too far outside. Had him open for first.
Samaglia, Tennessee's all-time leader in field goal percentage. Came in at 78%. Was kind of in, and Missouri gets another block. And the Tigers will try to chase this one down. Picked up by Mizzou. And the Tigers will have great field position after Devin Nicholson found it. And Cimaglia might be hurt.
This is what you worry about with a longer field goal. That kicker's got to hit it more like a line drive.
Cimaglia is wobbling his way off the field. Looked like the snap jammed the holder.
Snap did a little bit, but it's not terrible right there. Really, it's just a trajectory. On these long kicks, that ball's got to come out flat. And probably just a hair lower than Cimaglia would have liked there.
I think Cimaglia left the field woozy. He was having a hard time walking in a straight line. And there, it may have been friendly fire that got him from the backside trying to chase down the loose ball. Jordan Elliott blocked it. Nicholson recovered it. And Missouri's possession will start in Tennessee territory. That would be a huge loss for Tennessee if Cimaglia can't return, especially in a close game. He's a major offensive weapon. Daniel Parker Jr. picks up 7.
And that right there is such an important play for Derek Dooley as an offensive coordinator. Last week against Florida, Missouri was terrible on first down. Anytime you're an offensive coordinator, you're in second and long. Your options are limited. Here in second and short, now you can take a shot, you can run the football. Everything's an option.
Bannister, the motion man this time. On play action, Bryant gets out of a would-be sack, and he carried a couple of guys with him. On a heady run to pick up the first down before Matthew Butler rode him to the ground. This didn't happen against Florida.
No, it didn't. This is the athleticism you see here. Breaks the tackle there. And then a little bit of a burst and a cut to pick up that first down. But you're right, we didn't see that burst last week against Florida. And he is playing hurt. Gutsy run there by Kelly Bryant.
They got Dawson Downing in at running back. They'll give it to him this time. His first touch of the night. And Downing is met by Daniel Batuli. 1 yard for Downing.
You know, fellas, I saw Derek Dooley coming back onto the field after halftime. I said, how'd you like it being on the field after the first half? He said, I loved it. He said, I like the interaction. I like being able to look my quarterback in the eye. He said, for this group, in our current situation, I think it's better for me.
Offensive coordinator is such a feel thing. You know, sometimes you're up in the booth, yeah, you can see better, but you're a little disconnected to how guys are feeling.
Play action, Bryant's got all day. And nobody was able to get open except that dude. Guy in a stocking camp, Pat
There is no
count.
proper grounding. The quarterback was outside the pocket. The pass was beyond the
And
line.
Missouri
of
left with
scrimmage.
a 3rd and 9. So Cimaglia may be injured because now Paxton Brooks is warming up as Tennessee's kicker. Kelly Bryant lets you go, and that is caught by Nico Hay. It's a pickup of 8. Short of the first down. It's 4th and less than 1.
And I like the decision here.
Offense is going to stay on the field.
That's a play call that Derek Dooley knows we might not get a first, but I want to set myself up for a 4th and short. Nico Hay, the true freshman tight end, it's a great ball and a great catch, just short of the sticks.
Only 4th down converted tonight was on a fake punt. Bryant, little misdirection. Roundtree picks up the first down for Missouri. Twice, Missouri has gone for it on 4th down, once on a fake punt, and then there to capture the edge, and Barry Odom is coaching a whale of a game tonight.
This is one of those plays that if it doesn't work, everybody's screaming at the TV, why not just run it between the tackles? But when it does look, Dooley looks like a genius. A little misdirection, hesitation by the tight end, keeps the linebackers inside. You can out-leverage them with that pitch. Good play call on 4th and short.
This is Tyler Beatty, and they run into the short side and find nothing. Daniel Batuli, number 35 for Tennessee. What a journey he's been on. He was born in the Congo, and before his 2nd birthday, his family left that country and they went to a refugee camp in Cameroon before settling in Tennessee less than a year later. Double pass coming from Mizzou. Wide open is Beatty. Touchdown, Missouri. A 15-yard strike from Micah Wilson. They brought Wilson in on the previous play, and that was a play that was drawn up 2 plays before.
You're going to see Beatty just sneak through the line of scrimmage there. Right pass to Oto. That's a tough play. I mean, as a linebacker, that's tough to react to a running back coming right at you. You think you're going to get blocked. You think he's going to break out, and he goes right by you.
And McCann pounds through the extra point. Tennessee 17, Missouri 17. It started with this. Could be a game-changing play. Not only to block the field goal, but Samaglia seems to be out for Tennessee. And then Micah Wilson comes off the bench. His second play of the night. A throw to Tyler Beatty. And we're all tied up in Columbia. So Micah Wilson on the left came to Missouri as a quarterback. He's had a position switch or two since he arrived, especially when Kelly Bryant committed to Missouri, but he looked like a quarterback in that throw to Tyler Beatty.
Now watch what this formation does once we get to this replay. It's a great design by Derek Dooley, both formationally and just rolling dice and taking a shot in the red zone somewhere they haven't had a ton of success.
No return for Tennessee. Here's the play.
Here's this formation. You're going to see a two stacked receiver. There's really no slot defender. What that does to this safety, watch his eyes. He's looking just in that direction with no slot defender. And then you're going to see then the pass, everybody's eyes that direction. And Toto is playing through the running back to the outside, and he's got no time to react. But really the formation pulled the eyes of the safety out of the area that they wanted to attack with the running back. Great play design. And a tough play for a freshman linebacker to make regardless.
So Jarrett Garantano trying to take the lead over again, and they'll turn to the running game and Ty Chandler. And Ty Chandler is able to pick up 7. Nick Bolton in on the stop. I thought it was interesting that Michael Wilson ran in on the play prior, and he ran in late. And he wasn't in that formation to be an intended receiver. It seems like they just wanted to get him on the field for a play before they ran the trick play.
Yeah. Hey, want to get him ready for it, right? Don't want that first one to be where he's got to think about catching and throwing, get his feet wet a little bit.
Callaway shifts out, 2nd down 3. Garantano looking for Callaway, one-on-one down there. It is bobbled and incomplete, and a flag on Christian Holmes. It'll be the 3rd time tonight that he's flagged for pass interference.
Pass interference, defense, number 21. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
This is definitely pass interference. Garantano is doing a play fake in the backfield, so he's a little late. Callaway has a step early. He's a little late getting the ball out there, but
he pulled everything, including his hair.
Yep. He knew he was beat.
3 of those 4 penalties on Missouri belong to Holmes. Tim Jordan, nothing doing. Kobe Whiteside blocked a field goal earlier in this game. Junior from Houston. Garantano takes off, and he hops back in the middle to midfield, a gain of 3. Devin Nicholson on the stop. I kind of mentioned this earlier. Missouri loses Cale Garrett early in the season. Instead of moving Nick Bolton to that position, they keep Bolton where he is, but essentially Nicholson is now playing in place of a guy who's having an All-American season in Garrett.
Yeah, tough to replace, but Bolton has really developed into that leadership role. They didn't want to move Bolton and have multiple guys playing new spots, so they kept him there. And he shouldered a lot of the responsibility for leadership and communication from that will linebacker spot that Cale normally took care of from the Mike linebacker spot.
Look at Juwan Jennings fixing the formation, moving Callaway out so he can motion to that slot. 3rd down 6. And they're going to Jennings. Leaping grab, and he's able to turn it upfield. And we got a flag on the play in the Missouri secondary again. That play happens because Juwan Jennings identifies the fact that he needs more space.
They'll line him up at Wildcat sometimes, but he's just got the mind of a quarterback. I mean, he knows what the play design calls for, and he can look to the other side of the formation and go, hey, bro, I need a little more space out there. Scoot out.
Yeah. Kind of like you getting your own bowling lane last night.
Pass interference, offense, number 1. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay the down.
And this was, I was wondering, it's a little bit of a pick play. By design, they're going to motion Juwan Jennings from one side. Callaway's going to release vertical, hopefully rubbing that defender that's trying to come from one side of the ball to cover Jennings. And
a rub and a pick, just difference is whether or not the flag gets thrown sometimes.
Let's see here. Jennings is going to come in motion. And I can be able to see it there.
3rd down 21. Over the middle. And a diving catch made for Tennessee. Maybe 1st down. Let's see where the spot is. Obviously, yellow line unofficial. Looked like he might be an inch short.
Just short, and a heck of a ball here on a seam route by Dominic Wood Anderson.
And now they say it was a 1st down.
That's a couple throws over the middle on these seam routes that Jarrett Garantano has been extremely accurate on. One to Juwan Jennings that looked like it was behind him, but it was perfect for where the defender was. And on that one as well, an accurate ball over the middle.
The officials are going to stop play.
Catch for a 1st down.
They want to look at the spot.
Previous play is under further review.
The near side marker said 4th down. The far side said 1st down. At least here it didn't say 5th down. We're tied at 17. You see it's 4th and 1. They just overturned the spot at the end of this play on the completion of Dominic Wood Anderson.
And it was the right call. Wood Anderson's going to go to the ground right there. And you can see the ref that's spotting this is not even in the picture. He's about 15, 20 yards behind the ball. So good job going back and getting it right.
And they're going to punt it away on 4th and short. Paxton Brooks is out there. Remember, Jeremy Pruitt might be a little handcuffed in the kicking game tonight. Brent Samaglia went wobbling off after his last blocked field goal.
This is kind of no man's land. Too long for a field goal. You're across the 50. For a second, I thought they might trot the offense out there and go for it.
Yeah. Well, why not, right? I mean,
well, Missouri's been struggling a little bit tonight, so make them go 80 if you can.
Maybe even longer.
Make
if
them
Brooks
earn it.
can kill this one inside the 5, and it'll head into the end zone.
So I know you're probably trying to figure out where to get your Christmas gifts, and I have the answer for you right here at Academy Sports and Outdoors. They have everything that you might need, including trampolines. Let's just not wait to wrap up the trampoline, put it under the tree. Just go ahead and get it right now so you can have fun all season long, right?
Last home game for Missouri. Kelly Bryant has put the Tigers in position for what would be a key win. Just chilling, relaxing on the rocks.
I can't be comfortable.
If you find the right rock, it's actually better than the grass. We had some snow overnight, right?
Yeah.
Grass is a little damp.
Now, how about a seat? They got those here, don't they?
Kelly Bryant played under Howard's Rock at Clemson. Now the Rock M here at Missouri. It was installed in 1927. In the late 50s, Nebraska fans came in on a Friday night. They probably had too many White Claws that night, and they changed it to an N. It was fixed first thing the next morning. 12 men on the field on Tennessee.
Before the snap, illegal substitution on the defense. 12 players in formation. 5-yard penalty. First down.
After the penalty, first down and 5.
Please reset the game clock to 5 minutes, 47 seconds. 5, 4, 7.
I thought he was going to say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And action.
Larry Roundtree averaging just 2 yards a carry tonight behind Kelly Bryant. And he lost the football, picked it right back up. Little power dribble. Matthew Butler on the stop after a gain of 1. Now 2nd and 4.
Jeez. Can't have this happen. Let's see here. Ball, it's in the right spot. If he doesn't drop that, they actually have 2 good blocks on the outside. If he can out leverage 94 there, he's got a chance, but
a burst up the middle for Roundtree, and he gets taken down by the single safety, but picks up a first down. Jalen McCullough with the stop. It's a gain of 11.
it's just a zone scheme. A great job here. One cut and get vertical.
Bryant, deep ball, too much, but a flag on the play. Jonathan Nancy, intended receiver. Coverage by Alontae Taylor.
Alontae Taylor, little too much contact, slowed Nance down.
This one's going to go. I think Nance had his face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, offense number 4. 15-yard penalty from the spot. Replay the down.
And seeing in real time, I thought they locked up a little bit. Oh, yeah, see, and I thought they might have got Alontae Taylor for the hands around the waist, but that's the right call there. Nance gets the face mask.
Every flag that's gone down in Tennessee's defensive secondary has gone against either secondary has gone against Missouri. 3 defensive pass interference penalties, now an offensive personal foul. First and forever. And now 2nd and forever.
That's a bad miss there by Kelly Bryant. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Derek Dooley makes a little note next to that play, because I like what they did getting Beatty out of the backfield, and it actually caused a one-on-one matchup with To'oto'o, who's got that knee injury, not quite 100%.
They run Beatty this time, and he picks up 5. Batuli, another stop. Batuli, the youngest of 3 brothers. They beat up on him early. He's been beating up on him lately. 6'3", 252. He had 23 tackles against Georgia Tech in the opener a couple of years ago. He had 19 tackles in their last game against Kentucky. Bryant, they got a hand on him but couldn't bring him down. And that'll bring up 4th down. Jeremy Pruitt has experience coaching against Kelly Bryant. When he was the defensive coordinator at Alabama, they matched up with Bryant's Clemson team in the national semifinal. And he said, the game plan that night will work again tonight. You just kind of sit back and try to make them beat you. And they've been rushing 3, kind of having another guy hang out almost as a spy over the running back.
Yeah, he said just defend him, right? Make him play from the pocket. Make him fit the ball into tight windows. Something Florida did. They dropped 8. About 9 or 10, actually 12 times last week. They dropped 8 in coverage, just making Kelly Bryant work through his reads and throw into tight windows.
45-yard punt. The personal foul face mask killed Missouri. We're tied at 17.
ESPN, home of the New Year's Six and the College Football Playoff.
Well, the top 10 today, LSU's controlling Arkansas. Actually, the Razorbacks just added a score. Ohio State held on against Penn State. J.K. Dobbins went for 157 and 2 touchdowns. And Alabama got what they needed today, a 66-3 win against Western Carolina. Do they stay right there at number 5 come Tuesday night?
Oh, I think so. Interesting. Georgia, 19 points. I mean, that defense is unreal, but that offense continues to struggle. It's going to be an interesting matchup with LSU if they can keep pace.
Jake Fromm only went 11 of 23 today for the Dogs. First down run over the right side and a pickup of 12 for Ty Chandler. Garantano fires a bullet and the ball jarred loose, and a flag on the play. Jennings, the intended receiver, Bledsoe separated him from the football. This would be the 4th defensive pass interference call against Missouri, if that's what it is. I gotta say, from here the timing looked right on the hit.
Yeah, it did. It was bang bang on the outside there. You wonder.
We're told they're looking at targeting.
Yeah. So I haven't seen a replay of that. Here we go. Actually drop back to a cover 2 look. Unique way to get there. So Garantano thinks he's going to have man-to-man. Tries to jam it in late underneath the coverage. And
Personal foul, targeting, defense. The previous play is under further review.
No need to look at it again, right?
yeah, I don't think so. And again, anytime you have a receiver going up, that defender that's coming in is going to make some contact, but it looked like he got his back there. Didn't get the head or neck area. There wasn't an attack. There wasn't an upward thrust. I think it did a good job of keeping his helmet away from Jennings there.
John Bible is our replay official tonight with help from the control center back in Birmingham.
After further review, there is no targeting on number 18 for Missouri. It'll be second down.
Can you imagine being Barry Odom? The stress that comes at this time of year in your dream job and you putting up with missed calls?
Yeah, you know, I don't think I've ever been a part of any organization that's felt like the refs helped us out. You know, I mean, every coach, it feels like they're always on the other end of those calls, but Barry has been for sure.
Medical stop, and nobody left the field, and they might be trying to get Jawan Jennings to leave the field.
Yeah, I think they are. But
that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to say Jennings has to leave the field. They've thought he got up woozy. He was down on a knee for a second and so slow to get up.
So maybe they stopped it for that initially and then reviewed it, and he didn't sit out of play. A timeout could change that, and he wouldn't have to come out of play.
Yeah, he could buy him back in.
Stayed on a knee. I think they stopped it there for an injury.
I mean,
it was quick, though.
I think they messed up twice on that play because they thought it was targeting. They thought they needed to take a medical. Right. It wasn't targeting. So, he wasn't hurt.
Right? You wouldn't look to the replay, didn't get hit in the head.
Yeah, that's a double whammy. At least they corrected the targeting. So Jennings out on his 2nd and 10. Into the slant, and here comes the flag fly in. That one's on Adam Sparks, trying to defend Josh Palmer.
Look, and this is going to be another good call. Sparks, I believe, gets up around the shoulder area, grabs onto the shoulder pads. These Missouri defenders play physical on the outside.
Pass interference, defense, number 14. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Sparks on the left side of your screen here. You just saw it there as Palmer was arched back. He got held coming out of that break. up around his shoulder pads. Nothing there, but it was before that. That was the right call. It was definitely pass interference on the outside.
And Tim Jordan with the carry. And a correction earlier, it's the medical observer that calls down to the field to take Jauan Jennings out of the game, and there's nothing the officiating crew can do at that point.
Interesting.
And Jennings is back on the field, obviously, for Tennessee. And they're obviously taught and going to err on the side of caution when it comes to personal safety. Eric Gray, the running back, 2nd and 8 for Tennessee. Looking for Jennings, and it's batted down. Great play by Missouri. They finally make a play in the secondary. Doesn't involve a flag. It was Josh Bledsoe that time.
Good coverage again, using that motion with Jauan Jennings, bringing him from one side to the other, which causes that defensive back and man coverage to run with him, hopefully trying to get that wheel route and outflank him. But Garantano gets hit really hard on this one. Not able to be accurate, and Jennings not able to win on the outside.
Garantano fires again. Open is Callaway, and he's tracked down from behind by Holmes. A gain of 33 and a first down for Tennessee.
Callaway working at man coverage against Holmes again. It's just a dig route.
Garantano over 300 yards now.
And with so many pass interference calls going against Missouri, sometimes you start to get away from what you do, which is be physical at the line of scrimmage to reroute those guys. You let Callaway, you let Jennings run free, they're going to get open.
Here's Tim Jordan. He's stacked up by Nick Bolton and friends after a gain of 5.
Well, it's a pretty good play by Kobe Whiteside there. Lined up in a zero nose technique. Comes backside, flat down the line of scrimmage to be able to help on that play. Such a tough ask for a center to be able to handle a guy who's lined up head in front of you, because he can jump either gap. He can come right at you, try to bull rush you off the football. And obviously that helps keep those linebackers clean as well.
How rare is it to have movement like that from a zero technique?
If you get a zero nose, it's not rare to have movement. And more teams are going to an Okie look with 2-4 eyes in between the two tackles and guards to try to cover those guys up as well.
Garantano finds Jennings and incomplete.
And what Cole's talking about right there, and one of the reasons maybe Tennessee's struggling to run the football quite as well as they want tonight is those 4 eyes line up where it makes the offense struggle to get double teams, right? You line up just inside that tackle. Now you don't have the leverage you want to get 2 guys on one, and then you have a guy as athletic as Kobe Whiteside lining up over your center. It creates a lot of problems. If I'm Missouri here, I'm thinking about dialing up some pressure, 3rd and medium, make Garantano get the ball out of your hands quick and go man coverage.
Here comes pressure. Man coverage. It is caught. Touchdown, Marquez Callaway. 17-yard strike. It brought a flag. And it's Christian Holmes again. And Tennessee's now picking on that Missouri defensive back.
This one should be against Missouri, I think.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. Offside number 93 is declined. Pass interference number 21 is also declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
A 17-yard touchdown pass from Garantano to Callaway.
And look at the pressure that comes, and Garantano stands in there with a blitzer right at his feet and throws a great ball. It's catchable. It's a 50-50 ball. It's right where you want that. You don't want to lead him. You want to throw it so he can plant his feet, jump, and make a play on the football.
Samaglia back on the field for the point after. It was another awkward snap. But they're able to get the hold down. They got the man coverage they wanted. on the perimeter. And Jarrett Garantano just picking on Christian Holmes. Callaway's 6th touchdown catch of the season. It's the Vols by score.
Up 21-7 on the.
So Tennessee will kick it away, up a touchdown, and a fair catch taken. Arizona State in the upset-minded mood. This last week in college wrestling, they ended Penn State's 60-match winning streak. That was actually Friday night. A 19-18 final for the Sun Devils on the mats. And here's Callaway winning this wrestling match.
And I mean, Holmes is all over him. This is just what Tennessee does best. They're big receivers on the outside, making physical, contested 50-50 catches. Nobody better than Marquez Callaway leading the SEC in yards per catch with over 22 because of plays like that.
Kelly Bryant kind of limping a little bit on that rollout. And Missouri sideline said that was a catch. Barrett Bannister is able to haul it in on a juggling catch on the sideline to pick up a 5.
Great catch, but you're right. Just watching Kelly Bryant get outside the pocket, he does not look 100%, but watch this. Whew. A good catch.
May not have been a circus route, but it was a circus catch.
There you go.
So we hit the 4th quarter. Tennessee up by a touchdown. Kelly Bryant in Missouri on senior night with 17 of his classmates trying to secure a win at home. Delivered a sledgehammer, and Beatty finds the end zone. Tennessee getting, and he takes it all the way to the end zone. Mizzou and Tennessee play the 3rd quarter to a draw. We hit the 4th quarter with the Volunteers holding on to a touchdown advantage. 2nd and 5 for Kelly Bryant and Mizzou. And Larry Roundtree III gets swallowed up by Daniel Batuli. Batuli averaging nearly 10 tackles a game in conference play.
Just has such good vision. I'll tell you what, no matter if it's misdirection, if he's slightly out of position, he's got a nose for the ball, and he always seems to find it.
Almost at his average tonight, sitting on 9 tackles. Here comes Batuli on a blitz on 3rd and 3. He gets to Bryant, and he takes him down! Daniel Batuli with a quarterback sack. Just the 3rd sack of the season for Batuli, and this one snuffs out the Mizzou drive.
Batuli right here, bringing a little pressure, which Tennessee hasn't done a ton of tonight, working on the right guard, and just beats him. And Kelly Bryant's got to get rid of that football. I mean, you got tight man coverage. You got a route right in your face. He adds tight coverage, but you got to get rid of that. Can't hang on to it in the pocket.
Marquez Callaway says stay away from this one, and then he scoops it up on his 2nd hop. He's played short, 50-yard punt. So Tennessee gets the ball back with 13:41 to go in this thing. Jarrett Garantano came off the bench the last 5 games, got the start today. Remember, he's playing with a bandaged hand. I don't know that it's limited him much tonight. Certainly hasn't limited him in the passing game, but it seems like handoffs should still be a concern.
Yeah, they are, and just kind of thinking off the top of my head, they haven't hand the ball off to the right too often, which you would need to kind of use 2 hands there. But they haven't needed too much. He's been successful throwing the football through the air, 327 yards tonight.
Looking for a deep ball again, and it's incomplete. That hand injury was key late in the game against Kentucky. Tennessee coughed it up late in the 4th quarter and gave the Wildcats a chance. It came on a missed handoff.
I think they've only run the ball from under center to the right 1 time tonight. And he did hand it off with 1 hand, which is different from the Kentucky game where he had to actually hold it with 2 hands to hand it off. And Jordan can speak as a former quarterback how weird that is.
They've been heavy passes tonight. They want to do it again. And Garantano's got a new career high in yardage. Josh Palmer takes it into Mizzou territory. And Palmer's going to be slow to get up. Not just Palmer, but Missouri's got Adam Sparks down on the ground. And Sparks holding his right leg.
A huge collision there. This is a great ball by Garantano. He's got to get this one up and down quickly because there is a safety in the middle of the field. Palmer on a post route here. That ball is perfectly thrown, but
Injury timeout on the field here in Columbia. Back in a moment. Different ways. If it is a catch, it could be a catch and a fumble and Missouri recovery.
I think it's definitely a catch. He's got firm control. No, knee goes down there. That's what I didn't see.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down, Tennessee.
Because if that knee wasn't down, it could have been a Missouri scoop.
Yeah.
If it would have been deemed to be immediate in the recovery, but it's a moot point, and so we move on. In Tennessee with another big play.
Just to put this in perspective, Jarrett Garantano over 300 yards. Last week, Florida threw for 330. That was the first time any team had thrown for over 300 yards against Missouri. Only twice all year prior to last game did they give up more than 175 passing yards and never more than 255. So it's a good defense that Jarrett Garantano is really taking advantage of.
It's his 10th completion. He's had 10 completions of 20 yards or more tonight. Here's Tim Jordan. Jordan finds 7.
There's that play where they put Calvert, the right tackle, in motion. This is such a football is such a copycat sport. I guarantee some coach in this conference or another is going to watch this, see this, he's going to go, I like that. Hey,
how about that?
Next couple of weeks, I think you're going to see some more offensive linemen going in motion as you see the big boy here.
Tennessee coming off a bye week, had time to put some new stuff in. They stay on the ground with Jordan. And he lost the football. Missouri says they got it. Kobe Whiteside had a blocked field goal earlier. Now he's got a fumble recovery. And a fourth quarter touchdown for the a fourth quarter turnover for the second straight game for Tennessee.
Wow, this hit comes in late. Jordan stood up at first, right there, helmet right on the football. It's tough for any running back to hold on to that one. Went from a blind side, the helmet gets right on that football. What a play for Missouri, but now they got to find something on offense.
Sure, but how about Devin Nicholson? That's a freshman taking Cale Garrett's spot. He's the one that forced the fumble. He had the scoop on the blocked field goal earlier this game. Bryant checks down, and it's off the hands of his tight end, Daniel Parker.
These are the throws that will frustrate a coach to no end. You call a shot play, it's not there. That's okay. Kelly Bryant does the right thing by coming down to his check down, a crossing route, shallow crossing route by his tight end, but you got to put that on him. I mean, as a coach, you can't keep calling shot plays if your quarterback can't complete the ones that just keep the sticks moving.
Bryant pulls it back. Bunch of white jerseys in front of him. Batuli gives chase. And he'll step out of bounds, and then Schamberger gave him a shot late. And Jeremy Pruitt will let him know that was a mistake. Sean Schamberger, junior from Mobile, Alabama, will pick up a personal foul penalty and give Missouri an automatic first down.
Yeah, and this is, look, it's not super violent. It's not a huge
After
hit,
play,
but it's late.
Personal foul, defense number 12. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
And the most frustrating part about that for Pruitt is that it wasn't a guy going full speed that couldn't slow down. He was slowing down and probably could have avoided that little, not huge contact, but late contact and avoid a flag there. For an offense to struggle in moving the football, if you're Tennessee, you can't give them free yards. Just can't do it. Missouri moved early there.
Knows Parker, the tight end.
Before the snap, false start, number 82 offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, tight end here just gets a little antsy in that stance. You see him leaning a little bit.
Kelly Bryant tonight, 14 of 24 for 139. Schamberger still getting a talking to. Hoping to get back in this game. We saw a lot of snaps for this Tennessee defense last year. Play action again. Bryant pressured again. And he's able to find Parker. And he picks up 6. Another stop for Daniel Batuli. He's into double figures again.
It's amazing how much field he covers. I mean, for a big guy that is so good between the tackles, those open field plays, outside the numbers, either side, he's got so much range from that middle linebacker spot.
Here comes pressure. Bryant over the middle, complete, and room to run for Missouri and Cam Scott. A stiff arm and a turnaround, and he takes it inside the 30. 21-yard gain against the Tennessee pressure. Daniel Batuli came right up the middle, and Kelly Bryant delivered it on time.
You're going to see Batuli here late come, and that vacates that hole that you're going to see the crossing route is going to fill that void. A little split blitz there, 2 linebackers crossing, and Batuli just vacates that spot that Missouri dialed up to attack.
Bryant's going to take off. He was directing traffic deep, and he scrambles out of bounds, and that little leap at the end may have gotten him the first down instead of stepping right out of bounds. A big gain of 11.
Getting inside the red zone is really where Missouri is going to miss not having one of their best players, if not the best player, tight end Albert Okwuegbunam on the outside. 6 touchdowns this year. He's their main target in the red zone.
Bryant gives it up. Tyler Beatty gets dropped. Latrell Bumpus out of Savannah, Tennessee with the tackle. And leaves 2nd and 11.
And here's where Missouri has liked their tight ends. No Albert O, as I mentioned. Here's where if you're an offensive coordinator and you have an athletic quarterback, you like quarterback run. But Kelly Bryant's not 100% healthy. That puts Missouri in a tough spot here as the windows continue to shrink the closer to the end zone you get. So I wouldn't be surprised if they lean on this run game here, try to cut this 3rd down in half. Nope.
Bryant over the middle, batted away. Parker, the intended receiver. Nigel Warrior in coverage.
Thought they might run there just because Tennessee's been playing so much coverage, only rushing 4 and even 3 at times, which they did here again. Now you get into a situation where you're in 3rd long. Tennessee is going to play coverage, keep eyes on Kelly Bryant, and constrict those passing windows even more.
Three-man rush, and they almost got to Bryant. He tried to shake Batuli and couldn't. A 4-yard scramble, and that'll bring the kicking team on with the ball at the 15-yard line.
It's a 3-man rush here. They still get to Bryant, but again, you leave 8 guys in coverage, there's not going to be much there in the red zone especially. They're going to have to settle for a field goal.
32-yard attempt for Tucker McCann. And he drills it. That'll wake you up. 8:27 to go in the 4th quarter. Tennessee 24, Mizzou 20.
Dari Noke in studio. Time for our comeback performance, supplemented by Aflac. You talk about coming back from the depths of departures and graduations, injuries to their quarterback, Terry Wilson, throwing a wide receiver in at quarterback for the 6th straight time, and Kentucky, 50-7 winner, bowl eligible, guys, for the 4th straight season.
That's great news for the folks in the Bluegrass. Got to put things into focus here tonight in Columbia. Two programs going in opposite directions coming into this one. But Missouri was the favored team. He thought he took a fair catch, but then he took 2 steps and downed it at the 10.
See early enough. Let's see if he signals here.
Interesting. You can fair catch off one bounce and an onside kick. And
yeah,
I'm honestly not sure what the ruling is in this scenario. I'm not bringing Matt Austin with this. Jeremy Pruitt is pointing out to the guys, just like, hey, he signaled for a fair catch. And it's a 15-yard difference.
The receiver made a fair catch, but did not complete the catch. The ball hit the ground. The ball is dead when it is recovered. First down.
You can say, we'll bring in Matt Austin. Matt, you can ask for a fair catch and the ball is dead in that situation, but you don't get the yardage. Is that right?
Well, if you signal for a fair catch and the ball hits the ground, when you recover it, it's dead because of the fair catch signal. So the minute he knew it was going to hit the ground, he should have either let it go into the end zone or he should not have signaled. Then he could have advanced the ball. But because he signaled, ball hit the ground, he can't advance it.
All right, thank you. And so the spot would not be advanced. Three yards on the first down run by Ty Chandler.
Here's where this offensive line for Tennessee has got to take the game over. This is where they got to be able to string a drive together, 8, 9, 10 plays, leaning on this offensive line. It's one of the best recruited positions and units in the country last couple years. They have some big talent up there. This is where they got to be able to lean on them late in the game to put this one away.
Garantano. Again, the sideline open for Tennessee and Marquez Callaway.
Is it not amazing just seeing the trust continue to build with Jim Chaney and Jarrett Garantano? I mean, a couple weeks ago, you think they make that call? I don't think they throw it there. A couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But the way he's playing tonight, the way Tennessee's winning on the outside, Jim Chaney has a ton of faith in Jarrett Garantano. And as much as he would like that clock just to run, using the ground game only, he's going to play the hot hand. And right now, that's Jarrett Garantano.
First time in school history, 3 wide receivers, all over 100 yards. Callaway, Palmer, and Jennings. This is Dominic Wood-Anderson.
Jordan, you mentioned the confidence with Jarrett Garantano. I know he's been hit a few times tonight, but I feel like for the most part, the protection up front has been pretty good. And when Jim Chaney can dial up plays and get a pretty clean pocket for his quarterback the majority of the time, obviously that has to give you a ton of confidence with opening up your playbook.
Yeah, I mean, there hasn't been a ton of free runners. He's gotten hit late on a few plays, but not a ton. You're right.
Juwan Jennings in at quarterback now. And Tennessee will use a timeout, I believe. Juwan Jennings can throw it.
Timeout, Tennessee.
We've seen that from him a time or two. We'll see what kind of threat he'll be coming out of this timeout. Volunteers looking at a 2nd and 6. Take a look at the road to the championship, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Georgia took down Texas A&M 19-13. The defense was sensational all year, 4th fewest since SEC expansion in '92. 2 of the previous 3 won the national title. LSU won the West. They ran away from Arkansas. Tigers with that high-powered offense, able to put up big numbers. LSU, the fourth team in SEC history to score 55 in 5 different games in a season, joining Alabama in 1945 and 2018 and 2012 Texas A&M. Garantano gets taken down. Missouri with the sack. Elliott and Whiteside found their way back there. It's a loss of 11.
It's really just a coverage sack there. I mean, Garantano's trying to push the ball downfield. Good coverage on the outside. You see he drifts to his left a little bit. And now he's got pressure up the middle from Whiteside as well, but you'd like to try to stay between those tackles for as long as possible, but really nothing downfield for him to cut loose anyway.
Suddenly 3rd and 17 for Tennessee. Over the middle to the running back Chandler. And he's brought down after a gain of 12. 5:40 to go and counting, and Missouri's going to get the ball back down 4.
Well, I tell you what, not enough yardage to pick up the first down, but that was a big boy game pickup by Trey Smith. Stops the penetrator and then tosses him to the ground immediately.
Trey Smith, Cole, came in as the top-rated recruit in the country. How impressed have you been with him playing through injury?
He's been unbelievable. Having to deal with the blood clot situation. Only 2 full contact practices since fall camp began.
That's amazing. Rashad Floyd won't have a chance for a return. 33-yard punt. Trey Smith doing all he can for Tennessee tonight. Now, Kelly Bryant's been through a lot in his young life. This is senior night for him here in his 2nd program. Junior year of high school, had abscess in his intestines, spent a month in the hospital, lost 50 pounds. Went to Clemson, lost his starting job to Trevor Lawrence, restarted his career here at Missouri, even with NCAA sanctions. Grew up in small town Calhoun Falls, South Carolina. It was 15 minutes to the grocery store. And now he's trying to fashion a Mizzou comeback here at home in the final night in this quick stop in his football career. Larry Roundtree has been held in check tonight by Tennessee, and he gets taken down on the edge by Alontae Taylor.
Early in this game, Kelly Bryant looked really comfortable. Some of the throws over the middle to the tight end. Dooley was able to get him outside the pocket a couple times for design short throws. Since then, it's been a little hit and miss. Throwing the football, he's missed on a few. They've tried to take shots, haven't been there. They go back to this empty set. They're going to get man coverage across the board with 1 safety high.
Missing 2 of his key receivers tonight. Tennessee brings 4, including Batuli. Bryant dropped. Daniel Parker Jr. Nigel Warrior had the coverage for Tennessee.
And great coverage across the board. Nowhere to go with the ball for Kelly Bryant. It's a good job of buying some time. But an even better play by Nigel Warrior to break that one up. That's a long time for those guys to cover on the outside. There was nowhere to go.
Parker comes out holding his shoulder pads and may have injured his shoulder on the fall. 3rd and 8. Flag. Parker drop. Bryant gets taken down by Darrell Taylor. It's a loss of 8. And it seems Tennessee was offsides.
Offside. Defense number 35. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Oof. Yeah, right here. That's too bad because Darrell Taylor absolutely whooped the right tackle to get to Kelly Bryant. That's just a mental mistake. If you're Batuli, you're looking right at the ball. You can't have that happen.
On a draw, Bryant taken down. Henry To'o. It's a loss of 2.
And the perfect defensive play call. You got a corner blitz, a cat blitz here, right into a design quarterback counter. And the blitz forces that to go inside when they'd like to bounce that outside a little sooner.
Force the guard to redirect.
Yeah.
Marquez Callaway back to receive this one. And Missouri is going to put this game in the hands of their defense if they're able to get it back. Fair catch taken after a 49-yard punt, 3:33 to go in this one. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kublik down on the field. You consider what we talked about in the beginning. These two teams coming into this game from very different directions. And after an 0-2 start, Tennessee is in prime position for a great bowl with Vandy waiting next week. And Missouri is desperate to end this losing skid.
Absolutely. I mean, Tennessee's playing really good football down the stretch. And this is a good defense that Jarrett Garantano is just dicing up right now. I mean, there's not many teams that are playing as good as Tennessee is right now. The one blemish in the last 6 games was that Alabama game, which was hard fought. This team is gelling at the right time.
Juwan Jennings at quarterback, trying to run it, and Missouri is able to stand him up.
Number 15, Juwan.
3:22 and counting.
Going bare defense there with regular personnel, just allowing Devin Nicholson, an inside linebacker, to walk up and sort of act as a nose guard. Don't know if you really intend to use him as a guy who's going to penetrate and make the tackle as much as you do occupying the center on that play. That allows your linebackers to be able to run free.
Missouri, their first of the half, 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 3 minutes, 26 seconds. 3:26.
All right, so Missouri get that time back that ticked off, and Jarrett Garantano ticked off a lot of people with that play at the end of the Alabama game and others, but he has redeemed himself in a big way over the last 5.5 games.
He's been poised, he's been accurate. His receivers, Juwan Jennings and Marquez Callaway, are separating on the outside in man coverage. He's had some duress that he's been under, but he has been accurate against a really good secondary in Missouri. Getting his first start in a long time. He's been coming off the bench. He earned it.
He's thrown for a career high 394.
Jeez.
And I don't know if I've seen one really bad decision tonight by Jarrett Garantano, and that's been the knock all season.
Yeah.
Talking to the coaching staff throughout the last month, they said, listen, he'll make 9 decisions accurately. In that 10th one, will leave us scratching our head. Got a pretty good quarterback coach in Chris Weinke. Heisman Trophy winner. Garantano to throw again. And that one is incomplete. Nick Bolton swatted it away. Almost in the same spot where Bolton nearly had a pick 6 against Florida.
Yeah, dropped one against Florida that would have tied the game in the 3rd quarter. He's got some athleticism. Bryce Thompson. And now a 3rd and long here, exactly what Missouri wanted, and they didn't have to use another timeout. Still 2 in their pocket.
Looking for Jennings. Instead, Garantano checks it down, and he's able to pick up a first down with a strike to Josh Palmer, depending on the spot. And they'll say first down Tennessee, 3:15 and rolling.
When they go back to the bread and butter, time and time again, it's been that slot receiver matched up on Joshua Bledsoe, the free safety for Missouri, in man coverage with a little bit of cushion. Single high man coverage. And they're attacking really right over the hashes in man coverage with some cushion, time and time again.
Here's a toss to Eric Gray. And Gray will find a couple.
Trey Smith is just a bulldozer. You get him out on the perimeter and get some of these DBs and linebackers up against him, man. It's not fair. It's really not fair to ask somebody to try to square him up and think that you're going to be able to take him on.
Cole, you mentioned he's only had 2 full contact practices Just walk us through why that's so impressive at that position.
The only way to get good, to get great as an offensive lineman is to do it full speed and to do it in pads and to do it against people that are going full speed trying to make you look bad. It's the only way.
Watch Trey Smith right here. He's going to pull, get out on the edge, and he is going to put a lick on Bledsoe.
Yep. Gosh.
Hey, little man, get out of the way.
And I'm going to tell you what, if his man doesn't trip him up, we probably don't want to see what's coming next.
Yeah, because
he's going to go down and finish that
Oh,
thing
yeah,
up.
he does.
He's going to clean up the sauce on the end of that plate.
Cole, this is a guy who's going to be a first-round pick, maybe a top 10 pick in the NFL draft, coming in as a freshman at Tennessee. What does his professional future look like?
It's really interesting, Tom. I've talked to a couple scouts and I've talked to some front office personnel, and they really don't know right now. But listen, all it takes is for one doctor from one team to evaluate Trey Smith and say, oh, we got a guy that's dealt with this before. He knows exactly how to handle it, no problem. He's a first-round talent.
2nd and 7 for Tennessee, 2:36 remaining. Eric Gray, brought down by Devin Nicholson.
Timeout, Missouri. Their third and final
Cole, I
timeout
know
of the
you can
half.
speak to
The
this,
second
but when you
timeout.
have a guy like that, like Trey Smith on the offensive line, he's one of those guys who can bring confidence to an entire unit, whether it's swag or power or confidence, however you want to phrase it. He can lift an entire team with his physical play.
I'll phrase it this way. Tone setter is what he is. And you need a guy like that in your offensive line room. Alabama got one this year from Landon Dickerson. They needed some nasty. They needed a little extra oomph, and that's what they got. You have to have a guy like that. Trey Smith is that guy. And I'm going to tell you, you sit down and talk to him, he's one of the most incredible, humble, kind, impressive human beings that you'll ever have a conversation with. He wants to be a leader. He wants to be one of the faces of this program. And the fact that he's sitting in that offensive line meeting room with a couple of youngsters and a couple guys that don't have a ton of experience makes it that much more valuable.
He started at left tackle as a true freshman, first game out against Southern Miss a couple of years ago. Now they've moved him inside to guard. Got talented freshman Wanya Morris next to him. 3rd down, 5, Garantano checks.
And Missouri stacking the line of scrimmage. They're going to bring pressure here and force Jarrett Garantano to get the ball out early if it's a pass.
Garantano does just that, and he completes it to Juwan Jennings, who stays inbounds and takes it to the 40-yard line. A pickup of 12, and Garantano fired up.
He's fired up because this pretty much seals it up. Juwan Jennings in the slot. Sound like a broken record, working on the safety Bledsoe. That's been a mismatch all night. An accurate throw by Jarrett Garantano. They brought pressure, but the ball was out of his hands quickly. And now Missouri, with no timeouts, cannot stop the clock.
Jarrett Garantano had done it coming out of the bullpen for Tennessee over the last 5 games. Now, as a starter, he's going to lead the Vols to a road win, a bowl-eligible victory for Tennessee, the first since Tyler Bray to put up numbers like that. Just the 8th 400-yard game in Tennessee football history. We showed you Tyler Bray. The only other name with one of those was Peyton Manning. Peyton had 3, the strong arm. Bray had 4. Chris Weinke. The eyes on the field for Jarrett Garantano. What a job this staff has done for Garantano, getting him right this season. They've run 71 plays tonight, averaging 7.5 yards per snap. And I would say Jeremy Pruitt has his team in the right place. Interesting talking to him yesterday afternoon. What was the feeling in your mind when you started 0-2? Because the sky was falling on Rocky Top. There was a lot of Chicken Littles out there. He said, nah, I thought we were good. He said, my athletic director even made fun of me. Philip Fulmer said, what do you mean you're 100 times better? You're 0-2.
Tennessee.
But he
Second
knew
and a half,
that Daniel Batuli
30-second
was coming
timeout.
back. He knew that some personnel was changing.
Bryce Thompson as well.
Yeah, and this understated confidence that Jeremy Pruitt carries around, it turns out to be true. Look at the leaps that this program has made in just 2 seasons under Pruitt.
Yeah, anytime you've seen as much football and coached at the highest levels and had success at that level, you can tell. You can tell when you have pieces in place. You can tell when guys are really close.
Yeah.
And you could tell early in the season, even though things didn't go their way, that they were much better than they were last year. And now with the consistency in the quarterback play that Jarrett Garantano has provided off the bench and now as a starter, that's really been the glue. that has kept everything together for this hot streak.
This will be their 5th win in the last 6 games. The only exception, Alabama there. It started with a 20-10 victory at home against Mississippi State. South Carolina, UAB, on the road at Kentucky, on the road here at Missouri. And it'll be a winnable game next week against Vandy, but a series that is tilted in Derek Mason's favor in recent years. You win that one, and Tennessee will be in prime bowl position as they will now return to the postseason. Disappointment for Barry Odom in Missouri. So close. Undone by defensive penalties tonight, especially in the backfield. Limited offensively, missing their 2 best receivers, including an NFL caliber tight end tonight. And Kelly Bryant, not quite 100%. Bryant was going to be the savior preseason. Guarantano midseason turns in to an unlikely savior for Tennessee's season. A start and a win for the junior quarterback. Jeremy Pruitt standing by with Cole Kublik.
Coach, you're going bowling. How's it feel?
Well, I'm glad we won. We messed up a bunch of things tonight that we got to fix. I'm excited for our kids. They found a way to win, which is very important.
Hold on one sec. Jarrett Guarantano just threw for almost 400 yards. First time Tennessee's had 3 100-yard receivers in the same game in the history of the school. They played their rear ends off for you.
And they did. We just got to play smart, though. Get 2 field goals blocked, fumble down here when we can seal the game. Our kids play with great effort all year, okay? All year. We got to play a little smarter.
What was the turning point for this football team?
You know, I think when we came back from the Florida game, you know, we sat down and met as a team as soon as we got off the bus and said, this is what we're going to do. All right, we're going to find a way to get to a bowl game. Our guys have bought in. We're a long ways from being where we can be, but we're learning. We're learning.
You told us in our meetings with you yesterday that you had the best week of practice for the entire season. Did you feel like you were watching a direct reflection of that tonight?
Well, we've done a lot of really good things, obviously, but we've made a few mistakes that just killed us, that kept them in the game, and we've got to eliminate those.
What did Jarrett Guarantano prove to you tonight?
Guy made some really good throws, hung in there, took some licks. We should have done a better job protecting him. Jarrett's a winner. I said it when we went with the other quarterbacks that he would help us win games this year, and he's helped us win 5 out of the last 6.
Coach, thanks and congratulations.
Thank you, Cole.
Well, there's 2 things about that interview with Jeremy Pruitt. He knows that his team did not hit everything right because he's going to hear from his dad once he gets to the bus, and his dad's going to say, here's some things that you guys can improve on. Number 2, Jarrett Guarantano starts the game and gives them a win. He referenced that Florida game. As soon as they got back to Knoxville, he pulled the team in the locker room, just the head coach and the players. We're going to get to a bowl, and here's how we're going to do it. Daniel Batuli, another monster effort for Tennessee, and the Volunteers are going back to the postseason. Victory on one side and heartbreak on the other. Missouri's losing skid continues. And the Tigers will have one last chance next week against Arkansas to make things right. An emotional night for the Missouri Tigers, but it's all Tennessee. 24-20 is our final. For Jordan Rogers, Cole Kublik, I'm Tom Hart. Good night from Faurot Field. Time to get you back to the studio. It's time for SEC Now.